You can catch us live on our social media platforms at Channel Africa on Facebook and YouTube, and at Channel Africa 1 on TikTok. DSTV 802, OpenView channel 628. Download the SABC Plus app so you can take us with you wherever you go on your Android or iOS device. Or if you'd like to revisit some of our conversations, go to www.channelafrica.co.za. It's good to be back. Welcome to you. Welcome back, Mmatsheko Mosito. How you doing?
We are back.
Back.
Listen, I am floating on a, what do they call that fancy thing that we were talking about? Yeah, I'm floating on a hot air balloon. But happy to be back. Happy to be an upsider.
Happy
once
Monday.
Again.
Yeah, happy Monday to you.
We weren't upside. You weren't an upsider. I wasn't an upsider for the past 2 days. But listen, we back. And it was a wonderful break in the bush. Oh my goodness!
We sometimes you need to take a little break, a breather.
Breather.
Just a breather.
Your whole face has changed.
Oh, yeah. I need to go groom a bit more this afternoon when I get home.
There's relaxation.
There's relaxation.
In
less
your eyes.
Wrinkles on my face, and well deserved. I think every human being must find a chance every now and then to just take a break. Right? And if you're going to take a break, go to the... I know I advocate for the bush a lot, but that's because I've been in the bush.
That's your life.
Brilliant. But it's also a wonderful place to rejuvenate and to just get your ducks in order and just to relax and breathe and listen to yourself. And we're grateful to be back. There's the Upside this afternoon. It's the Monday edition of the Upside. And we've got quite a few things to talk about, including property in Dubai. I don't know about you, Mmatsheko. Have you been to Dubai?
You know, I'm yet to go. And I thought this was going to be the year. And then this conference I was supposed to go to has fallen through. But maybe when I actually do go, it will be for leisure. Who knows?
You know what? And then go to Skygate Tower, because we'll be talking all things Skygate Tower this afternoon in our property segment, in our property corner. And then later on, we have a conversation with the man who's running for Joburg mayoralship, Gulston Anthony. He's launching an entrepreneurial Shark Tank initiative. We'll find out more about it, and then also touch base with why he's going into politics. He wants to run for mayor.
It's a tough job.
That's a tough job. Yeah. That's a tough job. Anything in politics is a tough job, especially on the African continent. And then later on, we've got what caught your eye. Quite a few things caught our eye this past weekend. And we'd like to share them with you. You're more than welcome to interact with us on our social media platforms and at Channel Africa on Facebook and at Channel Africa 1 on TikTok. And then congratulations to the Springboks. They won their rugby championship back-to-back. A very uncommon thing these days to win back-to-back championship, but they did, proving yet again why they are the best in the world. So that's all coming up on the Upside. I see. Did you bring your water? I didn't see your water.
So I didn't. I drank half of it on my trip here.
Stay hydrated.
So
all the time. Can't come to
cheers.
Studio without. Oh, wow.
Oh, you're going to give me some of yours because I'm going to need extra.
Anyway, it's a Monday. 10 minutes after 1 p.m. Central African time. Ladies and gentlemen, Upsiders, welcome to the Upside.
Channel Africa, your voice, your sound, and your home. Stay logged right here.
Annika Longi sur Channel Africa.
Comment est-ce que les militants et sympathisants du parti Les Transformateurs ont-ils réagi face à la condamnation de Succès Masra?
La condamnation de Succès Masra ne nous a pas surpris et les militants transformateurs ont été bouleversés et indignés étant donné que le verdict est un verdict lourd, illégal, injuste et donc face à la répression dans laquelle le peuple tchadien est confronté, les militants transformateurs se sont résignés de ne pouvoir pas sortir manifester. Et donc, c'est une situation totalement absurde pour un pays. Et aujourd'hui, nous célébrons le 11 août, fête de l'indépendance. On pensait que le verdict allait être plus ou moins clément, mais le verdict est sévère.
Annika Longi, tous les dimanches sur Mix Vibration.
This is what memories are made of.
That love don't care who you be, where you from.
Channel Africa, the African perspective. The Upside. On the Upside, your voice matters. Interruptions. Just the music you love on Channel Africa.
Got a bag full of feelings and a heart full of regrets. This baggage is can't fit to no plane, don't mean to digress. I wanna know what's the reason why you moving slow? As you move, no they cross my lane. Shorty nonsense, my best to mommy. My best to mommy. If you get the problem, my best to mommy. My best to mommy. Yeah, they fight my own demons. Don't you see? Don't you see if you get the problem? My best to mommy. My best to mommy. No, yeah, mommy, Joko, mommy, go. And I know for life for you, mommy, yo. Go loco, mommy, yo. I mean, no, they love, but they try me, yo. Say my kind life, no, they funny, yo. Many things I sing, feed up by me, yo. Big money, man, nothing tiny, yo. I mean, no, they take man, I find my own demons. Yeah. Keep the bad energy going. Yeah. Play with no time when you see us. Yeah. We got the right energy on. Yeah. Bust to the rhythm, nothing long. Yeah. With a fly with a thing on. know they belong. Yeah. Bad energy, you know, come aside. Sorry, nonsense, my best to mommy. My best to mommy. If you get the problem, my best to mommy. My best to mommy. I fight my own demons. Don't you see? Don't know, don't you see if you get the problem? My best to mommy. My best to mommy, no. If you live this kind of life, I don't leave you, go no. Man, I leave, I don't send no person. Save me, I don't send no man. I don't live my life on a low one, it ain't show. Steady bank rules. Man, I find my own demons. Yeah. Keep the bad energy going. Yeah. Play with no time when you see us. Yeah. We got the right energy on. Yeah. Bust to the rhythm, nothing long. Yeah. We fly with the thing on. Yeah. And who know they grind, know they belong. Yeah. Bad energy, you know, come aside. Shorty nonsense, my best to mommy. My best to mommy. If you get the problem, my best to mommy. My best to mommy. I fight my own demons. Don't you see? Don't know, don't you see if you get the problem? My best to mommy. My best to mommy. No.
17 minutes after 1 p.m. Central African time. We started off with Ndawana by Shasha, Kelvin Momo, and Sykes. And that last song we were listening to there, Too Sugar, featuring Arya Star. That was Wiz Kid. Beautiful music to kickstart the Monday edition of The Upside this afternoon. Thank you so much for tuning in. Catch us live on our social media platforms at Channel Africa on Facebook and YouTube, and at Channel Africa 1 on TikTok. DSTV 802, OpenView channel 628, and as always you can go to www.channelafrica.co.za. Let's kickstart our conversation this afternoon as South Africa steps deeper into the fourth industrial revolution. We often think of innovation as something driven from our big cities, but today we are turning our attention to the Northern Cape, specifically Kuruman, where Maru aerial data and inspections is proving that technology has no boundaries. Using drones, thermal imaging, and data analytics, they are helping industries from renewable energy to agriculture improve safety, save resources, and boost performance. And beyond business, they are giving back with pro bono initiatives like solar panel inspections for schools. And joining us to unpack this story is Kagiso Meriotle. I hope I pronounced your surname correctly there. Chief Operating Officer of Maru Aerial Data and Inspections. Kagiso, thank you so much for your time. Welcome to The Upside. Let's start off at the very genesis, the beginning of aerial or Maru Aerial Data and Inspections. What drove you to that particular technological industry? Have you always been a specialist in it? And tell us more about what your company does.
Thank you very much to Channel Africa. Thank you for interviewing us. And good day to your listeners. Well, the background is that my background is come from mechanical engineering technician. So I was looking for something more interesting than mechanical engineering. So I was looking for a new way of making a living and a new career. So while I was doing my research, part of my research, I wanted something that I would enjoy, So while I was doing my research, and I happened to see some publishing on drone technology, and South Africa was doing regulations to allow these drones to be part of our airspace. And I started, getting more and more interested in it. And I ended up having to go get a drone license with the South African Civil Aviation. So basically, that's how it started. I was just shifting from one career to another, and the opportunities that I saw and the love that I have for drone technology actually drove me towards this career path.
All right, we are 20 minutes into 1 p.m. in Central African time. A pleasure to have you join us as an upsider until 4 p.m. in Central African time in conversation with Kagiso, COO of Maru, Aerial Data and Inspection. And we continue the conversation after this short break.
Midday vibes, great programming, and good company. This is Channel Africa.
Zilipendwa na Abedi Jean de la Croix.
Kabla ya kwenda mbali zaidi, tuanze kwanza kwenye background yako, maana kila kazi, kila jambo linakuwa na historia yake. Riziki Alema ni nani?
Riziki Alema ni mwimbaji wa nyimbo za Injili, ni mama na ni mke pia.
Umesema wewe ni mama wa familia pia. Vipi unagawa muda wako namna gani kwenye masuala ya muziki na majukumu ya familia?
Okay, cha kwanza sio jambo rahisi, lakini ni anaweza sema upande mwingine ni rahisi kama utakuwa umejitambua. Kwa sababu mbaya ni ile kuchukua masuala ya masaa ya kazi na masaa ya familia na masaa ya huduma. Kwa hivyo ni vizuri tu mimi huwa natenganisha. Nikiwa ndani sio Riziki Alema, sio mwimbaji. Nikiwa ndani najua mimi ni mke na ni mama pia.
Zilipendwa kila Jumamosi kuanzia saa 12 kamili majira ya Afrika ya Kati hadi saa 1 kamili majira ya Afrika ya Kati.
The Upside, 1 to 4 p.m. Central African Time. With Tebogo Lekhuleni and Mmatsheko Mosito. Only on Channel Africa. The African Perspective.
You know, just this past weekend, we're actually having a conversation with Tebogo around what is happening in the Northern Cape and all these, you know, sort of industries, as it were, just coming on the up and up. And it looks like the fourth industrial revolution is visiting the Northern Cape in a really big way when we look at the space of innovation. So we are talking Maru, Aerial Data and Inspection, and how they are taking to the skies, if we could use that metaphor, with drone technology, thermal imaging, as well as data analytics. And we're talking about, you know, how they are serving industries when we look at the space of renewable energy. Fraternities like agriculture will benefit, as well as construction. In conversation with us, we've got Kagiso joining us in his capacity as the COO of Maru Aerial Data and Inspection. Kagiso, let's speak about you spoke a little bit about the inspiration behind the drone technology and the thermal imaging as an industry, but let's talk about the benefit for the Northern Cape and Kurumane in particular.
The benefit that we have in Kuruman about this, it's our sun, basically, in the Northern Cape. Mm-hmm. We have a beautiful sun there side. That's why you see most of the technology companies, largely based on renewable energy, they choose Northern Cape as the destination for their businesses. So it gives us also an opportunity because, you know, I see renewable energy as part of the fourth industrial revolution. So we have to skill ourselves with those skills that will benefit the Northern Cape. In my instance, I had to go do my drone license. I had to go study thermography. And these are, you know, I can say new type of careers that, you know, I wouldn't have thought of, 10 years ago. So the benefit from that is that because we are unplugging from the previous industrial revolution and plugging into this current industrial revolution that we are going into, it gives us an opportunity in the Northern Cape to make sure we secure jobs for the future, we secure new career paths for the future and businesses that we can actually help these institutions get solutions to their problem.
Kagiso, paint a picture for us as to how these drones actually work, because for the most part, someone at home may be thinking, a drone, it's a camera, was that one? It just takes pictures. Walk us through some of the capabilities of the drones that you have access to and how those are serving those communities in Kuruman.
Basically, I see a drone as, a flying machine with sensors. They sense all types of anomalies in different systems. So it's more than just a camera. The camera that we use as Maru aerial data is a thermal camera. Now, a thermal camera shows images of heat. We are looking for heat instead of light. So, for instance, our cameras will show different colors, red, green, blue, and how we translate those colors. You have to be a thermographer to understand them. But in layman's terms, I would say that those colors will tell a different story. For instance, you view the news channel, and you'll see the weather channel, and they'll show different colors when they show different areas. Yes, and a professional in that field will be able to determine that rainfall this side and this side is gonna be cold. So basically, in layman's terms, that's what a thermal camera does, and that's the job that we do on a daily basis.
Other things that you do on a regular is pro bono work. As I understand it, Maru Ariel is quite involved in pro bono work like solar panel inspections for schools. So talk to us about the motivation behind that. What motivates you to give back in this way? And let's talk about the impact of that work so far.
We love sharing information, particularly to learners. What we have done in the past is that we've went on field trips with the South African Civil Aviation Authority to conscientize learners in careers in aviation, because drone is a career in aviation as well. So that then when we went to some of those schools, we saw that they do have solar panels on their premises, and we said, no man, why don't we come and do some inspection work for them, and expand this pro bono work to other schools as well. Then we can actually help the school actually determine faults in their systems without having a big company coming to charge the school a big amount of money. And then we feel like we are also giving back to the community in that sense.
So exciting times technologically. We are advancing at a rapid rate. What are the future plans for Maru Aerial? Any expansion plans, new technologies?
Definitely. What we are doing at the moment right now with the Council of Science and Industrial Research, the CSIR, we wrote to them last year that we are in this industry, because particularly we found that the challenge, because we are also an upcoming company, the challenge is that the industry is quite expensive in terms of business. There are softwares that you have to buy. There are always new things that you have to just update your system with. Yeah. So we wrote to CSIR, and they said, no, indeed, we have quite a system that may help you guys, but we need you guys to pilot it first. So right now we currently will be piloting a system that is developed, a software that is developed by CSIR. So that's, I think that's the biggest one that we have right now in terms of future developments. But in other future developments, we are also looking at venturing into farming as well, because the thermal image that we take play a big role also on farming. We can fly over a field of millet or corn, and we can actually take data and put it into the software, and from the software we'll be able to determine which side of the field is doing good and which side is doing bad, and we're able to give recommendation to the farmer, say, no, rather focus your efforts on this side of the field. For instance, you don't have to water too much on this side, because perhaps the land will be shaped in a certain position, and so forth. So basically, the drone technology, it's vast and it is growing, but unfortunately, and but maybe fortunately again, it will take some time to grow in South Africa, and that's why we go into these schools, make sure we conscientize learners about these new technologies and these new careers.
I love that. Kagiso, thank you so much for your time this afternoon. All the best with the partnership with CSIR and all the best with Maru Aerial Data and Inspections. May your company grow leaps and bounds and offer opportunities to thousands of people in the Kuruman Northern Cape area. The voice of Kagiso Meriotle, COO of Maru Aerial Data and Inspections. Let's get the latest in sports.
Get Channel Africa on DSTV Audio Bouquet. Channel 802. Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
Good afternoon, guys. Let me start off with the cricket news ongoing in the World Cup. South African women's cricket team have dealt an early blow in their second round ICC World Cup match against South Africa in Indore, India. Opener Susie Bates was trapped leg before wicket by Proteas all-rounder Marizanne Kapp with the first delivery of the match. Earlier, New Zealand won the toss and elected to bat first as both teams tried to secure their first win at this year's tournament. Kapp, meanwhile, is playing in her 155th Women's ODI today and has become South Africa's most capped women's cricketer in the format. Now, rugby news. Rassie Erasmus has labelled the centre Kenan Moody lucky following his knock-on in the first half for South Africa's 29-27 victory over Argentina at Twickenham's Allianz Stadium at the weekend. After the match, where the Springboks retained the Rugby Championship on points difference, Erasmus considered that if he were his counterpart, Felipe Contepomi, he would have deemed the knock-on worthy of another yellow, something that many online did. Erasmus says you'd rather learn while you're winning than while you're losing.
Argentina came out really playing well and loosening the game up. And we missed a few tackles and so on. We got a yellow card, obviously. The one, Cannon was lucky that the one that he tapped back, there was almost 2 yellow cards there. Could have, if I were Filippo, I would say, wasn't that maybe a red card? They wanted 1 or 2 each of them that I thought, that might have been more than a yellow. So, overall, obviously, I'm not blaming the referee. I'm just saying there was close calls that could have changed the game even more. But we always knew Argentina, they've got massive fight in them. They take you to the gutters, and we had to swim there in the gutters with them.
And Springbok captain Siya Kolisi says this Bok side knows how to win, having had a winning mentality instilled in them by coach Rassie Erasmus.
It's really been a tough rugby championship. You can see how close it was, what happened as well. And Argentina have been playing really well, and they challenged us a lot because we knew they were going to stay down the last week. But once again, like the way we started the first game, you couldn't say that we would be here. But the belief we have in ourselves, you just don't. It's like you don't feel in any moment that you're going to lose. It doesn't matter how it looks. And that is hard to get because I know how it feels on the other side when you know how difficult it is to get a win.
Let's end with golf news. Robert McIntyre won the Alfred Dunhill Links Championship on Sunday for a second DP World Tour victory in as many years in his native Scotland. McIntyre completed a successful homecoming after being part of Europe's victory over the United States in Ryder Cup a week earlier at Bethpage in New York. The third round was postponed on Saturday because of stormy weather, making the event a Pro-Am played across 3 of the Scotland's top links courses, 18 holes shorter than intended. For any sports stories you'd like to share with us, please send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +2711 714 4459. This is Channel Africa Sport with me, Figede Lungwati.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective. Hi there. Do you want to elevate your business and give it a voice in South Africa and Africa as a whole? Well, in that case, let Channel Africa make this a possibility. Channel Africa is willing to advertise your business for as little as 30,000 rands or $1,719.18. To get access to these great rates, send all requests to mokoenata@SABC. That's MOKOENATA@SABC. Channel Africa, the African perspective.
36 minutes after 1 p.m. Central African time. Let's find out how the markets are moving with our business news.
Business news on Channel Africa, the African perspective.
Good afternoon, I'm Mosito Zuma. In your business news this hour, the Libyan state-run National Oil Corporation NOC says the North African branch of Italian energy company Eni has resumed its exploration drilling in an offshore area northwest of Libya after a 5-year hiatus. In 2024, Eni and British oil giant BP resumed exploration in Libya after onshore drilling was halted in 2014, the year when the North African country's civil war erupted and divided the country between two administrations. NOC says Eni resumed operations in a well where drilling operations were halted in 2020 due to the COVID-19 pandemic. British packaging and paper firm Mondi says its core profit growth slowed in the third quarter due to weakened demand and lower prices, and warned that challenges will persist this year, sending its shares sharply lower. Shares in Mondi tumbled more than 15%, dragging shares of European peers including Enso, UPM and SCA. Mundi posted underlying core profit of $260.35 million for the 3 months to September the 30th, down from $321 million in the second quarter and $340 million in the first quarter, marking its lowest quarterly earnings so far this year. The South African Broadcasting Corporation says it has continued to operate with strong governance and accountability as the Auditor General's unqualified audit opinions has confirmed for the past 2 financial years. It has described as inaccurate reports that it's planning another round of retrenchments. The SABC concluded its last major retrenchment in March 2021, with more than 600 permanent employees leaving the organization as part of its turnaround and sustainability plan. Moni Ngubane is the SABC spokesperson.
Where operational challenges are identified, these are addressed internally through established systems and processes and do not warrant the kind of speculation currently circulating.
And finally, Japanese stocks have hit a record high after the country's ruling Liberal Democratic Party named Sanai Takaichi as its new leader. This move has positioned the pro-business politician to be Japanese next prime minister. Takaichi, who has held senior government roles including Minister for Economic Security and Internal Affairs, is known for her support of higher government spending and lower borrowing costs. She is a long-time advocate of aggressive government spending and monetary easing to stimulate growth. The BBC's Suranjani Tewari reports.
Sanai Takaichi is a veteran lawmaker and a devotee of the Abenomics policies of the late Shinzo Abe, which include boosting the economy with aggressive spending and lower interest rates. That kind of spending shift could spook investors who are already worried about Japan's debt load, which is among the highest in the world. Takaichi will have to regain trust from a public angered by rising prices and drawn to opposition groups promising stimulus and clampdowns on migrants in the world's 4th largest economy.
Your financial indicators: $1 US in Nigeria is trading at 1,000 naira 470, and Botswana is 13.20. Kenya, the dollar is trading at 128 shilling 49, and in Zambia is 23 kwacha 78. The BRICS countries: $1 in Brazil is trading at 5 rupee 33. Russia is 81 rubles 93. India is 88 rupees 72. China is 7 yuan 13, and in South Africa, $1 is trading at 17 rand 21. $1 is trading at 74 pence to the British pound and 85 to the euro. Looking at commodities, gold is trading at $3,942 and platinum at $1,611 per ounce. The price of Brent crude oil is at $65.59 a barrel. Now, for any business news stories you would like to share with us, please send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +27 11 714 4459. For Channel Africa Business, I'm Nosipho Soma.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African perspective. Tune in and turn up the volume. This is Channel Africa. Got something to say? Are you passionate about issues that matter? Do you have a voice that deserves to be heard? Well, we've got the perfect platform for you. Call in or drop us a WhatsApp on +27 63 406 9126. And we will call you back so you could have your say and be part of the conversation.
30 years of age. I just turned 30 on the 15th of November. So that's who I am,
It's not just talk. It's your chance to air your views. Share your opinion. Engage with a community that values your perspective. Follow us on our social media. Visit our website at www.channelafrica.co.za and get ready to share your views on Channel Africa, the African perspective. No fairy tales, just the facts and the music you love on Channel Africa.
I can't scatter everything on the legit. As encourage enjoyment, you talk say it a kilo. Under fire, the person where they be for. Say it a kilo, under fire, the person
It's 45 minutes after 1 p.m. Central African Time. Nobody by Rude Boy. Oh, wonderful music on the
Really
upside
good.
this afternoon. We kicked you off with... who did we kick you off with? If I remember correctly, Umondi is not going to remind me. Wait, don't worry. I got it. I got it.
You got
We kicked you off with Ndawana by Shasha, Kelvin Momo, and Sykes. Then we went to Wizkid featuring Ira Star with Two Sugar. And now we're here, Rude Boy with Nobody. Come on now. Yes. That's a whole playlist there. Add it to your playlist, your workout playlist, your driving playlist. That is the music you need to be listening to. It's time for Vent O'Clock. Get it off your chest so that you can live a lighter and brighter life. Right? Is there anything that you, in particular, Mmatsheko Mosito, want to vent about? Because I want to vent about, personally.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to buy fruits yesterday. There's something that I said that didn't make sense there in my head. I had it audibly.
I can see you're having a moment.
I had a moment there. I was trying to buy fruit last night after our trip, and I realized that we are not getting the freshest fruit from some of these well-established supermarkets. And I realized that it's also very unfair of me to be saying that, because we come from a place this weekend that was selling all kinds of fresh produce.
Glorious.
From a farm, right around the corner.
Fresh from the farm.
And now you come
That's
to
a
this...
whole other standard.
Right? Now you come to the city and you realize that, no, man, these bananas are not bananaing like the ones I...
And the taste is different.
They taste different. The size is different. You try out the watermelon. No, this watermelon is very different from the one I had this past weekend. I'm like, so actually, what are we eating in the city? Because when you now go to the proper smaller towns where they live very close to the farms and they procure the produce straight from the farms itself, fresh, and then you compare it to what we are eating in the city, what are we actually eating? My taste buds honestly, my taste buds changed. I was like, no, this doesn't taste like a watermelon. This doesn't taste like a banana. I just had a banana a couple of days ago, fresh from a farm. Oh my goodness me, what are we being fed in the city? That's a worry. It's a concern. Personally.
Listen, I've got to co-vent with you because those bananas from the farm. I wanted to say from the village, but yeah, I guess, but from the farm were just out of this world. The sweetness, the freshness, the size, as you mentioned. I mean, it is a proper banana. You are eating a banana. And the cost, they're more cost effective and all of that, I guess, because of proximity. But it would be nice to know what we are being fed. But, in a lot of spaces, you will find that some of our best produce, and not just in South Africa, but across the African region, whether it's our avocados, our tomatoes are top tier, blueberries from Zimbabwe are absolutely exquisite. The best produce is packaged and shipped internationally. And then the locals are left with, whatever is left. But all the good stuff is of import quality.
That needs to change.
It's really a problem. It's really a problem when you really also just look at the people that are growing the food and the heart and the soul that goes into nurturing soil, nurturing the crop so that they can thrive in this manner, only for them to not even taste the food that they've grown. I mean, can you imagine the injustice, of having to have this wonderful fresh produce be grown because it's your job just to grow them. You don't get to taste it. You don't get to feed it to yourself or your family. It gets shipped straight to Spain and what's it, Venice and all these other fancy countries of the EU.
It's 10 minutes before 2 p.m. Central African Time. It's vent o'clock time. So if you tuned in and like, why are they complaining? What are they? We are venting. We're getting it off our chest. There are certain things that don't make sense to us, and we're getting it off our chest. Just like the pricing of fruits in the city. Very different to the pricing of the fruits back where we were coming from, a small little town in Limpopo, where you can get a whole 3 kilograms of blueberries for $100. Try getting 3 kilograms of blueberries in a city near you in a supermarket. Nowhere close. You'll have to depart with the amount of a car if you want to buy blueberries in the city. It's 9 minutes before 2 p.m. Central African time. Don't go anywhere. More Vento Clock coming up after this.
We are on Open Views Audio Bouquet. Channel 628. In this episode of Channel Africa Conversations, Peter talks to Dr. Tulisile Buddha, an academic, author, and an expert in indigenous knowledge systems. Join us for a compelling discussion on preserving African languages and traditions in the digital era. Dr. Tulisile unpacks the role of educators, explorers, and how technologies like AI can support cultural preservation, and challenges us to rethink how we honor African heritage. You can find the episode on YouTube, SABC Plus, and on our website, channelafrica.co.za. This episode is a must-listen for educators, creators, and change makers across the continent. Channel Africa, the African perspective. We take no sides, none whatsoever. We are the upside.
8 minutes before 2 p.m. Central African time, we continue our little vent. It's Vento Clock time. Get it off your chest. Live a lighter life. Mmatsheko, what do you want to vent about?
I want to vent about myself.
About yourself? What did you do?
That's quite a twist in the plot, right?
What did you do?
Listen, I really realized that many of us, myself included, have got to fix our relationship with time.
Time?
With time and lateness. Ish, I didn't want to say the word, but listen, for me to get my point across, I've got to just say it, okay? We've got to fix our relationship with time and just being on time. And what does being on time look like? I had an agent several years ago who was booking my voiceover work, and every single time without fail, when he sends the request for you to go for a voiceover job, he puts in the WhatsApp message, if you're half an hour, you're early. If you're 15 minutes, you are, reasonably on time. If you are on time, you are late, in capital letters. So I want to fix my relationship with time, man. I think also the thing is I've developed, and I've seen other people that are kind of wired like me. We have a tendency of being late because we have given so many opportunities to get away with it. If you know what I mean.
That's fair.
You know, where people have given you an extra 2 minutes.
No
it's
one
okay.
has called you out.
It's okay. 5 minutes. No, don't worry. Okay. You're safe, you know. Okay. So then it becomes perpetual, and then it becomes habit.
Yes.
You know, that Tebogo understands. It's 2 minutes. It's not a big deal. If the show starts at 1 and I'm here 2 minutes late, it's not a big deal. For example, or I'm meant to do something at a gym class, actually. That's a great example. A gym class, and I'm like 5 minutes late. Not a big deal. Come in, roll out your mat. We're ready for you. Don't worry about it. So there's just too many opportunities to get away with being late. But we went on a boat cruise, okay? And they don't mess around with time, okay? At the Blind River Canyon.
Yep.
Okay. If it's 11 o'clock, it is 11 o'clock, and the gate is shut. Yes. They don't. It's not 11 split second and a split second, or 11 and 30 seconds. No, 11 o'clock on the dot. They shut the gate. And if you're not on time, you can go cry somewhere else with the baboons outside the gate, because they're not going to let you in. So 100%. It was in that moment when my heart was breaking in a million little pieces because I missed a boat cruise, that I was like, oh my goodness, the watermelon that I was chopping could have waited. You know, the extra lip gloss could have waited so that I can be on time. So I want to vent about myself and those that are like me that have gotten away with being late too many times. We've got to fix our relationship with time. Ngoku today, right now. Not on the 1st of January 2026. Right now, on the 5th of October 2025.
Right
yes,
now.
right now.
There's a proper lesson for you. Fortunately for you, you actually got to do the boat cruise. For those thinking, oh, shame she didn't manage to get. She managed to get the boat cruise, but the next day, that very day where we were booked, which was a Saturday, she couldn't join. We were like 3 minutes late. 3 minutes. Like the boat cruise leaves at 11. We arrived like 3 minutes after 11. The boat had left. They were like, no, at 11 we were leaving.
Bye-bye.
And they're very strict on that because there are other people who have arrived, internationals, locals, who are sitting in that boat 10, 15 minutes before it actually departs. At 11, they have to do the safety, what safety, and then they depart. And so at 3 minutes, we're running. Is it still there? Can we please? No, it's gone. It's gone. That time we're looking at one another. What are we going to do now? The other boats, there are 3 boats, other boats fully booked. We can't now jump in there. It's fully booked. We put our tails between our legs and we disappeared. Luckily, we managed to get in touch with them and say, listen, we're coming a very long way from Johannesburg. I would really appreciate it. And you managed to do a boat cruise yesterday.
Luckily,
lucky.
lucky.
I didn't do it because, I've done it a million times, but I wanted you to see it. But the importance of time with them, it's non-negotiable. I remember growing up. My dad was a proper stickler for when it comes to time. He was very strict on that. It's like, we are leaving. We must leave at 7. We're not 5 past. We must leave at 7. And I used to abuse that back in the day. I would 7 minutes past, 8 minutes past. Now I have become like my dad. Like I'm very strict on time.
You actually really are.
I am like at 7 we must leave because I consider all the things that need to happen before we have to go to the activity. If we have to drive to a specific place, I have to calculate all these things to make sure.
And what could happen on the road?
And what could happen? You have to leave some room for that as well. So next time, please be on time. And if you're one of those late comers, someone once said interestingly, and I don't know how true this is, someone said, if you're always late, right, that means that you've got stuff to do. That means that you're living life. If you're always on time, that means that you've got nothing to do. I don't agree with that.
No. Priorities.
And they said, they were just giving some advice saying, if you're always on time, that means you've got nothing going on for you in your life. But if you're always late, that means respect people's time. Respect you're going somewhere, something is starting at a specific time. Respect the people who arrive there before you to prepare and ensure that it's proper, it's set up, ready to go so that you can enjoy the experience.
Okay, I've got a question. Does this time issue sort of does the rule apply when people are going on a date? Like, would you judge somebody if you ask them out on a first date and you say it's 6 p.m. dinner and they're there 20 minutes late?
Fortunately, I have learned through experience that the opposite sex, your gender, you take your time. And I respect that. And so I always give a buffer period.
You are so sweet.
I need to give that buffer period, knowing that there's makeup involved, there's outfits. Hey, maybe this outfit didn't work. I must try. I always give that buffer period because I know I've been in many situations where you've planned a specific date and we must get there at a specific time, and then you don't leave on
there's
time.
A reservation
because
made.
Now, with age and maturity, you realize that give a buffer period. Give that extra half an hour so that you have enough time to, figure things out. If something didn't work out, you can figure it out and then we can go and still have a good time.
That is so kind.
Well, I try.
That is kind. Well, look at me now endorsing late coming. No, ladies, we've got to be late. We've got to be late.
Don't be late.
We've got to
Don't
be early.
be late.
We've got to be early and early for the news. It's 2 p.m. in Central African time. Let's check in with the news bulletin.
Get the news, music, and lifestyle of Africa on Channel Africa, the African perspective. SABC News, the African perspective.
Top stories: Asaba, Tanzania's opposition leader goes on trial for treason and France's PM resigns. Good afternoon, I'm Cholani Tulongwebe. Tanzanian opposition leader Tundu Lissu has gone on trial for treason in the capital Dar es Salaam. This comes weeks before the East African country holds an election that his party has been barred from contesting. Lissu, who came second in the last presidential poll in 2020, was arrested in April and charged with treason over what prosecutors said was a speech calling on the public to rebel and disrupt the elections later this month. He has pleaded not guilty in the treason case, and his lawyer has said the charges are politically motivated. South Africa's International Relations Department has given the assurance that a process is underway to return the South Africans who were on board the flotilla to Gaza back home. Over 100 activists from the global Summit flotilla were deported to Turkey after being intercepted and detained at sea while trying to deliver humanitarian aid to Gaza. They include the late former President Nelson Mandela's grandson, Mandla Mandela. Crispin Piri is the department spokesperson.
Our specialist team met with the South African delegation who are currently detained in an Israeli prison facility. The delegation has confirmed that the detainees are in good health and in high spirits. The necessary procedures for their safe passage and return home to South Africa are advancing steadily.
The team of 5 seasoned investigators that has been deployed to France has not yet left South Africa. Last Friday, the Police Ministry announced that the National Police Commissioner, Fanny Masemola, had deployed the team to ensure that the circumstances surrounding the death of South Africa's ambassador to France, Nathi Mthethwa, were thoroughly and transparently investigated. Mthethwa was found dead in a Paris hotel's inner courtyard last Tuesday morning after falling from the 22nd floor. He was 58. The SABC's William Denselo is in Paris.
We have reportedly had the release of the death certificate, and now this autopsy release will be seen crucial not just for the investigation to go forward, but also for the crucial repatriation of the body as well, with the family certainly hoping that that can happen in an expedient manner as possible. Of course, while that is taking place, we also know that these 5 South African investigators are travelling to France and will be working in conjunction with the French authorities this week as the investigation into what exactly transpired and why it transpired a week ago continues at pace.
The Forum for South Africa, FOSA, has called for tighter safety measures at drinking establishments and stronger action against gun violence. The call follows the deadly shooting at a tavern in Bronkhorstspruit in Gauteng province in the early hours of yesterday. 5 people were killed and 6 others wounded when 2 gunmen opened fire on patrons. Police have launched a manhunt for the suspects who are known in the community. FOSA national leader is Tebogo Lekhuleni.
FOSA also calls on tavern and pub owners to take responsibility for the safety of their patrons by ensuring that everyone entering their premises is properly searched and that no firearms or dangerous weapons are allowed inside. Safety checks at entrances must become a strict standard to protect both customers and staff.
The French Prime Minister has resigned just one day after announcing the lineup of his minority government. Sébastien Lecornu has faced criticism, including from his ministers, for failing to make a break with policies of past governments. Stocks fell sharply in the Paris exchange after the news. Lecornu gave this statement in Paris.
Être Premier ministre est une tâche difficile.
Being Prime Minister is a difficult task, probably even more so at the moment because the conditions are not right. However, for 3 weeks I have been trying to build the right conditions to pass a budget for France. But working with the opposition, I got the feeling we were always taking 2 steps forward and 1 step back.
Recapping the top story this hour, Tanzania's opposition leader Tundu Lissu has gone on trial for treason in the capital Dar es Salaam, weeks before the East African country holds an election that his party has been barred from contesting. For any news stories you would like to share with us, please do send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +27 11714 4459. For Channel Africa News, I'm Jolani Tulo Wepe.
SABC News. The African Perspective.
It is 6 minutes after 2 p.m. Central African time. Welcome to the second hour, the golden hour of The Upside. Your gateway to the good life on Channel Africa, the African perspective. Join us live on our social media platforms at Channel Africa on Facebook and YouTube, and at Channel Africa 1 on TikTok. Download that SABC Plus app so you can take us with you wherever you go on your Android or your iOS device. And if you'd like to revisit some of our conversations at Channel Africa on The Upside, the other shows as well, go to www.channelafrica.co.za. It's time for us to talk all things property, and this time we're going to Dubai.
Yes, we are going to be looking at a 43-story development that is just a beautiful and seamless blend between modern design and a touch of nature. Listen, we are all for that, because that's where the world is going when we look at architectural design. So it offers lush landscapes, green spaces, and horizon edge swimming pools. So we are going to be looking at this and really talking about this wonderful property, 43-story development, as it were, and we're going to be talking about it through Tiger Properties. So we're going to look at what this is all about, how you can get a piece of it, okay? Because as I understand it, there are many options, including some that come fully furnished. Okay, from studio apartments to 2-bedroom apartments, spacious duplexes, all of the good stuff. Okay, so for me, what's beautiful is that there are options. You have options. So whether you're a singular or a plural human being, there's something there for you.
Even these options are worrying. But you go to Dubai, you think anything Dubai, you think expensive.
You think luxury.
You think luxury. Exactly that. This is a whole Skygate Tower, 43 stories. And even if they offer these unfurnished, but what, I'm sure that price tag is still ridiculous for the average human being anyway.
I mean, look, we're gonna speak to Tiger Properties, and we're gonna find out Tiger Properties in Dubai, and find out, is it worth it? Because even if you are really paying your hard-earned pennies, whether it's a lot of them or a few of them, you want it to be worth it. I think I wouldn't mind to pay for a luxury item if it is really worth it, if it is going to stand the test of time, if it is going to increase in value, if it is going to be of benefit to the next generation that I'm raising, So let's find out. I think for me, the crux of it is it worth every penny?
Is it worth the penny?
Worth it?
I'm starting to think that Dubai is like iPhone.
Pro Max.
Well, Pro Max, but like iPhone, every other year they're releasing a new phone, but you're like, my 14 is fine. Do I really need to buy this new one? Same with Dubai, with the property development there. You're like, they've got this new development now, this Skygate Tower, but you're like, the question you're asking, is it worth it? Because next day there'll be another one that they're talking about. It will be super sky, what.
Yeah, as long as it doesn't compromise on quality, 100%.
And from an investment point of view, is it also worth it? Very important. We'll be getting into conversation with Olu Dayo, sales manager at Tiger Properties Dubai, about Skygate Tower. Don't go anywhere. It's 10 minutes after 2 p.m. Central African time. That conversation is coming up next.
Broadcasting in 5 different languages, connecting the continent. This is Channel Africa, the African perspective.
Ukatili wa kijinsia unaharibu maisha na kutenga jamii. Hutokea nyumbani, shuleni, kazini na mara nyingi kwa ukimya. Lakini hauwezi kuendelea. Ukiona, ongea. Ikiwa unaumia, funguka, kwa sababu kutofanya lolote sio chaguo. Sikiliza vituo vyote 19 vya redio kuanzia Jumatano ya tarehe 23 Julai kwenye mijadala, ushauri, tamthilia, maonyesho ya elimu na mahojiano na wataalamu, manusura, watunga sheria na nchi nzima iliyoathirika na ukatili wa kijinsia kwenye vituo vyako pendwa vya redio. Piga simu 0800 428 428 ili kuripoti unyanyasaji au kupata msaada. GBV ikomeshwe na wewe. Ujumbe huu umeletwa kwenu na shirika la SABC.
The music you love. The music you love.
You're in my head, still can't explain.
The African Perspective. Your afternoons just got even better, fresh and exciting. The Upside, hooking you up with today's news from an African perspective.
I'm a da. She want the fun. I give her one time, now she come from back. I think too long. She want to test in my cockara. My dear, make I tell you. I know they want day do like say. Me I suppose they go holiday, but I want to stay. She thought I was lazy. She said, baby, don't play me. When I hear her, she be screaming my name. Drive me now crazy. She want it on a daily. She call me on the phone, so she want know if I come back again. If I come back again, I give her like I'm a Yankee babe. She make her go. I'm a Yankee babe. Whoa. She want the corner, my location. She want to jam me natty on top with this in my plantation. And if I answer, she go carry me go for vacation. She want to get down, but she know no say me I be gladiator. Mama, pick a leg down, galant, body down, balance, ready to fire, take go. Mama, I know they too shut down, but my me I fi carry your galley, take go. Mama, my dear, make I tell you. I know they want to do like say me I suppose they go holiday, but I want to stay. She thought I was lazy. She said, baby, don't play me. When I hear her, she be screaming my name. Drive me now crazy. She want it on a daily. She call me on the phone, so she want know if I come back again. If I come back again, I give her like I'm a Yankee babe. She make her go. I'm a Yankee babe.
14 minutes after 2 p.m. Central African Time. Bayani or Bayani. Da.
Biryani.
Biryani, no.
Ah.
No, Bayani.
Oh my
Or
God.
Bayani. Ta is the name of the song. Literally that. I'm not making it up. That's the name of the song. It's 40 minutes after 2 p.m. Central African Time. And it's now time for us to talk all things property in our property corner. And we headed all the way to Dubai for those of you looking to invest in the property market over there.
Absolutely. So, Jumeirah Village Triangle, a Skygate Tower by Tiger Properties in Dubai, is set to become one of Dubai's most striking landmarks. All right. It's a 43-story development that, as we'd mentioned, is a beautiful blend between modern design and a touch of nature. So the offering includes lush landscape, green spaces, as well as a Horizon Edge swimming pool. It's in a prime location that places residents within easy reach in Dubai Marina downtown along the key highways, which is another plus, creating homes that, of course, balance luxury as well as convenience in the heart of the city. So let's talk about it. Let's explore design. Let's talk about how they have carefully designed communal facilities at Skygate Tower, so that they can deliver more for their residents. On the line with us to talk about this wonderful development is Oludayo, who is sales manager at Tiger Properties in Dubai. Oludayo, wonderful to have you on Channel Africa. Welcome to the show. I'm guessing that you have had a strong love affair with property for a long time now.
Yeah, thank you very much, Salo. Thank you, South Africa. Thank you, everyone. I'm so glad to be with you guys here. Thank you.
You are welcome. Let's talk about just you as a sales manager at Tiger Properties. Perhaps you can tell us more about the work of Tiger Properties in Dubai over the timeline.
All right. Tiger Property was established in UAE in 1976. And we have constructed more than 270 projects in all UAE. We currently have a project that is a world-class project, Tiger Sky Tower, which is going to be the tallest residential tower in the world. To let you know that this is the reputable organization, this is the reputable property developer company, which has established itself in the UAE for 4 decades.
Oludayo, let's talk about the location, Jumeirah Village Triangle. It seems a very exciting location. Why was this area chosen for this landmark of a project?
Thank you very much. You see, whoever have been into Dubai, we understand that Jumeirah Village Triangle is one of the best locations so far in Dubai because it's in the center of Dubai. Wherever you are going to in Dubai, it just takes you a few minutes to get to there. For instance, if you are going to Dubai Marina, it's just 14 minutes away. If you are going to downtown in Burj Khalifa, it's just 16 minutes away.
Wow.
If you are going to Dubai East, it's just 12 minutes away. If you are going to Burj Arab, it's just 15 minutes away. If you're going to Palm Jumeirah, it's just 18 minutes away. It's in the center, and that makes this location so unique. So wherever you want to go in Dubai, it's just like you are living in the center of Dubai, so you can easily navigate to wherever you want to go to in Dubai. And this location happens to be a villa community. It's a very, very family-friendly location. It's one of the top locations in Dubai, which everybody has sought for.
Okay, it sounds wonderful. I guess if you are looking to relocate, okay, packing your bags, relocating to Dubai, this conversation is for you. We are talking about Jumeirah Village Triangle, Skygate Tower, okay, that has been developed by Tiger Properties. And it looks like it is quite the landmark, okay? Very striking. 43-story development that also has considered how it's designed. Modern designs with a touch of nature. On the line with us, Oludayo, who is joining us in his capacity as the sales manager at Tiger Properties in Dubai. Let's take a quick break.
Call us on +27 63 406 9126. And contribute to the conversation. Yo, listen up. Channel Africa is taking the digital game higher.
Check it out.
We are taking our digital platforms to the next level. You, a loyal listener.
You know where we at, right?
New website, a fresh new app, and they're on fire. Anytime, anywhere listening, Channel Africa brings the African sound to you.
It's the bomb, yo.
Stay locked. The future is crystal clear with us. Your new way to experience Channel Africa is almost here. Africa, stand tall and get ready. Mmatsheko Mosito and Tebogo Lekhuleni on the upside.
20 minutes past 2 p.m. in Central African Time. It is a Monday, the 6th, or was it the 5th? The 6th of October, 2025. And we are talking all things property. As per tradition on this radio show, we look at property matters. Tiger Properties has developed Jumeirah Village Triangle, Skygate Tower. And as Oludayo has been sharing with us, it is really central to all the prime spots in the city of Dubai. And he joins us on the line. He's the sales manager at Tiger Properties, and we are really just talking about this development and what its offering is all about. Olu, talk to us about just the emphasis on design. because that comes through quite strongly in the conversation around greenery, nature. How would you able to incorporate that within an urban environment?
Okay, thank you. Jumeirah Village Triangle, like I mentioned to you earlier, is a family-friendly location. This location is villa community. In Dubai, we have high-rise towers, so many high-rise towers. But in this location is a villa community which comprises of low-rise uh, properties. So now having a high-rise in this location, it makes it very, very wonderful because we have the no obstruction of views. Because in Dubai we said views, everybody wants to have a good view. From where in this location you can have a Burj Khalifa view, you can have marina views, marina skyline, you can have all the good view. And this location as where we have all the amenities, like the game, you have the game center, we have the schools, we have the children play area, we have the swimming pool, which is the infinity. We have so many good facilities and amenities. We have the spa, we have the gym, a world-class gym in this very, very property as well.
Skygate will be offering quite a few amenities, like you'd mentioned, and also offering duplexes to studios. The options are plenty. Who for you would be the ideal resident for Skygate Tower?
Okay, thank you for this question. In Skygate, we have studio, one bedroom, two bedroom, and three bedroom duplex. But you see, I suggest for if you are an investors, if you want to get something, it should be within studio and one bedroom because this is the what can be easily rent out to make a good ROI and good capital appreciation. But let's assume maybe you plan later in future to stay in Dubai or you want to live in this apartment. Depends on the number of your family. You can consider two bedroom or three bedrooms.
Please, can you expand for us just in terms of opportunity, Olu? Because if I'm on the African continent and I'm looking to relocate to Dubai, and I'm looking at possibly staying here, talk to me about the price point. Perhaps I'm in a different part of the world. I'm not in the city of Dubai. How can I perhaps use the space to invest? Buy the one bedroom or the studio apartment and invest. Talk to us about the opportunities within this 42-story, or rather 43-story development.
Yeah, thank you very much. You see, number one reason why you should consider Dubai is tax-free country. You are not paying tax, whether capital or property tax or any tax or corporate tax. You are not paying any tax. So that is a very good advantage why everybody considering Dubai. Let's assume you have an apartment or you buy an apartment like I mentioned. You don't pay any tax. Once you make your purchase, you are taking your rent for life. And this property are freehold. Freehold simply means that you own it for life. Nobody can take it away from you later. You own it for life. This is another good thing about Dubai. And another good thing about Dubai is when you buy a property in Dubai, you have a residence visa. You can have a golden visa, which is a effective for 10 years golden visa, and you have access to every asset, amenity, everything that all the citizens also have access to. Because if you have a property in Dubai, you're automatically qualified to become a resident. And that is why it's easy. Everybody wants to come to Dubai because you can easily get visa. You can even get a resident visa once you buy a property in Dubai.
Now we want to buy because we're excited about this development. It sounds amazing. It sounds family friendly in terms of the area in which it is in, the amenities, and whether an investor or someone who's moving to Dubai. It sounds amazing. How can I pay for it? Are there any flexible payment plans that will allow me to become an owner at Skygate Tower a bit more easily than in other places?
That's a very good question. Thank you very much. In Tiger Property, we have a very flexible payment plan, which can be spread for like 5 years. And you also have post-handover payment plan. Post-handover payment plan simply means even after you have the key, you can still continue making the payment. So this is another good advantage in Dubai. And Dubai, when you are making a payment, you are paying into the escrow account, which is a government, which is like a security for your money to be safe. Government established this to secure the investor and the developer so that everything will be monitored by the government. So when you are paying to Dubai, you are buying the property in Dubai, especially for off-plan projects, you actually pay into the escrow account which government itself manage itself. So you are 100% secure with your investment. That is what it means. 100% secure with your investment. So in in Skygate, we have studio which starts around 170,000 US dollar. But you can spread the payment for 5 years, and you can key in with only just 5,000 US dollar for studio. For one bedroom, we have around 270K US dollar, and you can spread it for 5 years, which you can key in with only 8K US dollar. We have two bedroom around 400,000 US dollar, and you can key into it with only 10K US dollar, and three bedroom duplex with around 700 US dollar, which you can key in with only 15K US dollar. This make it easier, and that's why everybody considering the but because we can spread the payment for longer time.
Okay. I'm actually looking at one of the videos of Jumeirah, and it looks absolutely luxurious and exquisite. Okay, for anyone that wants to perhaps have a look at the prices for your studio apartments and the 1 and 2 bedrooms, etc., where can you direct them to go and have a look and possibly book a viewing of sorts, if we could?
Of course, I told you, Tiger Property is a well-established developer. We constructed more than 270 projects in Dubai. If you come to Dubai, I will show you every of our projects. We are everywhere, so you can access every of our projects. So for what you just asked, you can have a sample. We have a show apartment. You can see exactly what we are giving you. Even though this project will be launched on October 15th. And for investor, for anybody that wants a good deal, it's better to key in at pre-launch time. We are actually doing pre-launch on launch now, which you can get a very good pricing. That is the advantage. Investors know this. They know that this is the time to buy because after the project launch, after some time, the price will surely go up. But if you buy at pre-launch, you can get a very good deal, and that is why I'm telling people that this is the right time to buy before the project launch. We are launching this project October 15th, which will be next week, if I'm right. And we are taking the EOI for now, expression of interest, whoever is interested. And you're paying directly to the company account. Nobody is taking cash from you, directly to the company account. So that is another good thing about I want to pass to our people.
Oludayo, it sounds like an exciting initiative, or not an initiative, an exciting development, and we can't wait to get testimonies from the people who've actually bought property there at Skygate Tower, and the return on investment that they'll be getting over the next couple of years. And amazing that you are also providing those flexible payment plans, allowing the everyday person, the average person, to also be able to afford a property in Dubai. All the best for the launch on the 15th of October, and thank you so much for your time this afternoon on The Upside.
Thank you. I don't know if you don't mind to give my number, whoever wants to have more details.
Please, you can share it. Yes, no problem.
Okay. You can reach me +971 55 88 054 77.
The voice of
+971 55 88 054 77. Thank you very much.
Oludayo, thank you so much for your time. Sales manager at Tiger Properties. You can also go on to their website, tigergroup.ae, to learn more about this development. It's 30 minutes after 2 p.m. Central African time. Let's get the latest sports now with Figile Lingwati.
Get Channel Africa on DSTV Audio Bouquet. Channel 806. Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
We start off with the cricket news. Zimbabwe maintained their perfect record in the ICC Men's T20 World Cup Africa qualifiers as they eased past Namibia with a comprehensive 7-wicket victory in a hugely entertaining final at Harare Sports Club. After both teams had qualified for the T20 World Cup on Thursday, the game was to decide who took the silverware yesterday. And the hosts were in no mood to spoil the party mood that has engulfed Harare Sports Club in the last week of action. For Zimbabwe, they came into the tie hoping to maintain their momentum as Afghanistan stand by to meet them in their next assignment. Zimbabwe will take on the Asian side in a one-off test and 320 internationals series later this month. Namibia, on the other hand, came into the final hoping to avenge the 2-1 T20 series loss to Zimbabwe just before the qualifiers. Rassie Erasmus has labelled his centre Keenan Moody lucky following his knock-on in the first half of South Africa's 29-27 victory over Argentina at Twickenham's Allianz Stadium at the weekend. After the match, where the Springboks retained the Rugby Championship on points difference, Erasmus conceded that if he were his counterpart, Felipe Contepomi, he would have deemed the knock-on worthy of another yellow, something that many online did. Erasmus says you'd rather learn while you're winning than while you're losing.
Argentina came out really playing well and loosening the game up. And we missed a few tackles and so on. We got a yellow card, obviously. The one, Cannon was lucky that the one that he tapped back, there was almost 2 yellow cards there. Could have, if I were Filippo, I would say, wasn't that maybe a red card? They wanted 1 or 2 each of them that I thought, that might have been more than a yellow. So, overall, obviously, I'm not blaming the referee. I'm just saying there was close calls that could have changed the game even more. But we always knew Argentina, they've got massive fight in them. They take you to the gutters, and we had to swim there in the gutters with them.
Springbok captain Siya Kolisi says this Spok side knows how to win, having had a winning mentality instilled in them by coach Rassie Erasmus.
It's really been a tough rugby championship. You can see how close it was, what happened as well. And Argentina have been playing really well, and they challenged us a lot because we knew they were going to stay down the last week. But once again, like the way we started the first game, you couldn't say that we would be here. But the belief we have in ourselves, you just don't. It's like you don't feel in any moment that you're going to lose. It doesn't matter how it looks. And that is hard to get because I know how it feels on the other side when you know how difficult it is to get a win.
On to golf news. Robert McIntyre won the Alfred Dunhill Links Championship on Sunday for a second DP World Tour victory in as many years in his native Scotland. McIntyre completed a successful homecoming after being part of Europe's victory over the United States in the Ryder Cup a week earlier at Bethpage Black in New York. The third round was postponed on Saturday because of stormy weather, making the event a Pro-Am played across 3 of Scotland's top links courses, 18 holes shorter than intended. And finally, Team Brazil storms as history was made this weekend with the UAM E1 World Championship presented by PIF staged its first ever African event, the E1 Lagos GP presented by First Bank. Sunday dawned hot and humid until a tropical storm rolled over Lagos Lagoon, delaying the start and whipping up the waters. For any sports stories you'd like to share with us, please send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +27 714 4459. This is Channel Africa Sport with me, Fikile Ngwati.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
Chers auditeurs, Channel Africa aimerait mieux te connaître. Nous lançons un sondage sur l'audience et nous t'invitons à donner ton avis sur nos programmes. Participez à notre enquête sur www.channelafrica.co.za et sur tous nos réseaux sociaux. Et courez ainsi la chance de gagner une tablette Samsung ou un des 2 téléphones portables Samsung A23. Le sondage est disponible en anglais, en français, en portugais, en kiswahili et en chinyanja. Notre désir en tant que station est de mieux vous comprendre. Hashtag, nous valorisons votre apport.
35 minutes after 2 p.m. Central African Time. Let's find out how the markets are moving. Nosipho Zuma is standing by.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African Perspective.
Thank you, Tebogo. Good afternoon. In your business news this hour, the African National Congress Party in South Africa has identified a 10-point plan to increase growth, create jobs and end poverty. Now, this came out at the end of its 3-day special NEC meeting in Boksburg, east of Johannesburg, earlier today. Despite remaining far below the level needed to reduce high levels of poverty and inequality, the country's growth rate improved in the second quarter of 2025, reaching its fastest in 2 years. But ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa says there is a lot that still needs to be done. He unveiled his party's intervention to reignite growth in the economy.
The first intervention is to use electricity tariffs and investment in transmission to drive economic activity. This means preferential electricity tariffs for ferrochrome and manganese as well as steel. The second intervention is to accelerate the recovery of our freight and logistics sector. The third intervention is to rebuild our chrome and manganese industries. The NEC resolved that the fourth intervention must be to improve the capacity of the state to manage major projects.
An entrepreneur from South Africa's Limpopo province has opened an avocado oil producing factory at Doveni outside Thohoyandou. The facility has a capacity to process 100 tons of avocados a day. It is expected to create over 100 jobs for the local community and benefit farmers by providing a market for their produce. Ecovado's product line includes avocado seed powder. Its CEO is Hulisani Modao.
I've decided to set up the factory to benefit especially the local community because I've seen there's an abundance of avocados. We can't finish the avocados that are available. It always goes to waste. So I thought, you know what, let me set up a facility. This facility manages to process around 100 tons of avocados a day, which is a lot. For me, it's going to benefit the community because we are going to create more than 100 jobs for local community. I mean, it's going to benefit the farmers. And this, for me, it's a dream come true because I always wanted to do something like this.
Meanwhile, local farmers who have been struggling to tap into the national and international markets say the factory is a game changer.
This is a big opportunity for us farmers around Wembe district because, as you know, we are part of the hub that is producing lots of avocados together or combined with Tzaneen, the whole of Limpopo. And we are one of the best producers of avocados. There are lots of farmers who are struggling, like myself, struggling to sell our products. The market is so hectic. Sometimes we don't get what we deserve. I know we can start very small, but as we grow, we might come up with something very important. And I think this can benefit us as farmers.
Shares of critical metals have surged over 75% in pre-market trading today. The surge comes after Reuters reported the Trump administration is discussing taking an equity stake in the development stage mining company. If completed, the deal will give the U.S. government a direct interest in Greenland's largest rare earths project. Earlier this year, President Donald Trump had invoked emergency powers to boost domestic production of critical minerals as part of a broad effort to offset China's near-total control of the sector. And finally, oil prices have risen more than 1% today after OPEC Plus planned production increase for November was more modest than expected. Brent crude futures climbed nearly $1 to $65.52 a barrel, while U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude was at $61.83, up 95 U.S. cents. Your financial indicators: $1 in Nigeria is trading at 1,000 naira 470, and Botswana is 13 pula 20. Kenya, the dollar is trading at 128 shilling 49, and in Zambia it's 23 kwacha 78. The BRICS countries: $1 in Brazil is trading at 5 rupee 33. Russia is 81 rubles 93. India is 88 rupees 72. China, it's 7 yuan 13, and in South Africa, $1 is trading at 17 rand 21. $1 is trading at 74 pence to the British pound and 85 to the euro. Looking at commodities, gold is trading at $3,942, and platinum at $1,611 per ounce. The price of Brent crude oil is at $65.59 a barrel. Now, for any business news stories you would like to share with us, please send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +27 11 714 4459. For Channel Africa Business, I'm Nusi Posoma.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African perspective. Get the news, music, and lifestyle of Africa on Channel Africa. The African perspective. The music that talks to your soul. On Channel Africa, the African perspective. No matter where you are, Channel Africa is always with you.
DJ Neptune, hit me. Oroma, Cinderella from Puerto Rico. You carry go be fine face like Cabino. As I see your waist, baby, I swear I say Ale, Aje, you're more than now. You must cook on my girl, you sweet like gelato. Oh, and you know, see your face today, I feel like to see you tomorrow. And if you drop my gelato, oh, you go know. Baby, come my place tonight, no go do me, Ojoro, Isabella. Joma Pamina, I don't call you back, but I be carry your kada. Mayania, no like Wahala. No one talk pick her, but she want Gucci designer. Isabella. Joma Pamina. She want Gucci designer. Enter my motor, make I dance a willow. With your back way soft like pillow. Fire down like Ronaldinho. Ju, touch my body, Ogulugu. I dey your dog, Kuku. Angelina, Ju. Girl, you sweet like gelato. Oh, and you know, see your face today, I feel like to see you tomorrow. And if you drop my gelato, oh, you go know. Baby, come my place tonight, no go do me, Ojoro, Isabella. Joma Pamina, I don't call you back, but I be carry your kada. Mayania, no like Wahala. No one talk pick her, but she want Gucci designer. Isabella. Joma Pamina, Jo. Mayania, hey. She want Gucci designer. Isabella. Greatness. Joma Pamina. DJ Neptune. She want Gucci designer. Sounds of Neptune.
44 minutes after 2 p.m. Central African Time. DJ Neptune featuring Kaid with Gelato. Actually, now they're making me hungry. Gelato.
Totally.
Also, can we discuss the fact that gelato and ice cream are two different things? They are, right?
Please tell me what the difference is, because that was actually going to be my question. What is the difference? Or is it because gelato is Italian?
I was going to ask you.
I don't know.
We're going to Google, right? We're going to Google.
I don't know.
Gelato versus ice cream, right?
Okay.
And the difference, because I initially I thought the gelato was more the non-dairy version of like.
No, that's a sorbet. Is non-dairy.
That's sorbet.
Yeah.
So, we've got a definition here. Thank you, AI. It says here, gelato is a denser, more intensely flavored Italian frozen dessert made with more milk, less cream, and fewer egg yolks than ice cream. That's what it is.
Interesting.
So gelato.
So there's more dairy and less egg yolk.
There's more milk, less cream, and fewer egg yolks than ice cream, resulting in less fat and air and a silkier texture. Ice cream is generally fluffier, lighter, and sweeter due to higher cream and butterfat content and faster churning, which incorporates more air. Key differences include the ingredients range. I think we got the gist of it, of the differences between gelato and ice cream. You see? Thank you, Upside. Now you know.
Now, listen, I was today years old. Thank you.
We're just waffling on because we're getting ready now for What Caught Your Eye. At 10 minutes to 3 p.m. Central African Time, Mmatsheko and I will be sharing what caught our eye. Quite a few things happened this past weekend, and we're not going to touch on the recently unified political party. That one between Rise SA, Good, and Bossa. We're not going to touch on that. I think Rise and Shine this morning did a brilliant job having one of the leaders of the parties, the Bossa leader, Musi Maimane, come and explain the whole idea of the Unified for Change party, which will be competing at next year's local election. We're not going to touch on that, but I want to touch on something a bit more expressive, a bit more creative, a bit more entertaining. Something that you and I can relate to, because if you enjoy going to musical festivals, concerts, I think that you would be done a disservice if the headline act performs 2 minutes, and I'm exaggerating, just one song, instead of the full catalog that you were expecting from them. So there's a little teaser of what caught your eye is going to be. Do you have what caught your eye, Madam Tseko?
Let's take a break and find out afterwards.
Let's take a quick break. When we get back, it's time for What Caught Your Eye.
Tune in and turn up the volume. This is Channel Africa. Africa in Business on Channel Africa.
The United States was very vocal at the beginning of South Africa's G20 presidency, and this is largely due to strained relations with South Africa at the time, that they were not really keen on participating. Where do they stand right now?
The US is planning to take over the presidency of the G20 next year, and our understanding from them is that they intend to continue to do so, and therefore it is quite difficult then to be in a situation where you are not attending deputies' meetings or discussions during our presidency and then to take over the presidency next year. From a finance track perspective, there has been engagement. We've been working on a communique last week and this week here in Zimbabwe. What's important about that is that it's a consensus document, and so all the members in the room have to agree to the language that is used there, and our US colleagues have been part of those discussions and negotiations.
Bringing the African markets into your home. Channel Africa, the African perspective.
madapiri pazoshitika madapiri pazoshitika
boma la dziko la south sudan alengeza kuti wachiwiri kwa mtsogoleri wa dzikolo Riek Machar akuyenera kuyankha mlandu ofuna kulanda dziko wakupha komanso okonza ziwawa, ndipo mtolankhani wathu Africa onene akuwunikirapo.
Muchikalata chomwe chinalengezedwa ndi nduna yoona zamalamulo komanso chilungamo ya dziko la South Sudan, chikalatachi chinalengeza kuti wachiwiri kwa purezidenti wa dzikolo Riek Machar apezeka ndi milandu yokupha, yofuna kuwukira boma komanso kulanda dziko ndi kuyambitsa ziwawa. Riek Machar akhala akusungidwa mokakamizidwa ku nyumba kwawo kuyambira mwezi wa Marichi chaka chino. Mwezi wa Marichiwu asilikali omwe mbuyomu anali mgulu lomwe limagwira ntchito limodzi ndi Machar anamenyana ndi asilikali a boma a South Sudan Defense Forces SPDF mu chigawo cha White Nile dziko
zoshitika pa nthawi ya 6 koloko kufikira 7 koloko madzulo lolemba mpaka lachisanu ndi madapiri.
Whatever you want to hear about today's talk, you can only get it on the Upside. Every weekday, 2 to 5 p.m. Central African Time.
All right, it's 10 minutes before 3 p.m. Central African Time. It's time for What Caught Your Eye. And I start my What Caught Your Eye by asking a question. right? My question is, should organizers be fined or blacklisted when concerts run late and shortchange fans? Or is this industry too predictable, or unpredictable rather, for that? The reason I brought that up, when was it? Yesterday or not true? Was it? I think it was yesterday. There was a concert in the city of Tshwane, in Pretoria, at the Sunbet Arena. It's called Back to the City. Now, apparently the event started a bit later than the scheduled time, and this ate at the performers' times. The artists were performing on stage and so on and so forth. And one such artist whose time got taken away from her is Summer Walker. Summer Walker performed less than half an hour of her set. She was scheduled to have performed a whole full-on hour. And fans and event goers were outraged, saying, she's so disrespectful. Why would she just perform 1, 3, 4, 5 songs for only half an hour? She's supposed to be one of the headline acts, and we only sing her for a few minutes. And in actual fact, it turns out that it was not Summer Walker's fault. She went on social media to create a video in response to this and said that it was not my fault, guys. I was ready. I was on time. I was dressed. I was ready to go, ready to perform my entire set. Unfortunately, the event started late. That ate at our time. And by the time I was on stage, I was then rushed. I was consistently being told in my ear by the promoter, by the police, by the fire marshals, saying that I need to get off the stage, otherwise they will get fined. So I would imagine the organizers will get fined if they exceed a specific time frame of using the Sunbet Arena, right? And so they needed to get everyone out at a specific time. And so she went on to say, listen, it's not my fault. Guys, I'm sorry. I would have loved to perform the entire set, but it really was not my fault. Now I ask the question, should organizers then be blacklisted or even fined in such an eventuality? You've paid so much money. You're looking forward to seeing Summer Walker perform an entire hour to showcase her entire catalog, and then you get shortchanged. What are the repercussions? Should they get fined? Should they get blacklisted? That's Stain Entertainment, if I'm not mistaken, or the event organizers for this particular one.
It's a tough one. I'm going to keep it very short. Going back to my vent around time. And I remember taking, it was actually part of the curriculum when I was doing first year journalism at Boston Media House, or media studies, as it were. And in the part of the curriculum was a subject called power learning, which teaches you time management. I mean, I can say very little about that because I'm late for a few things, but but we got to go back to basics and just have respect for people's time. I'm done.
All right. Let us know what you think. Should the organizers be fined for this? You paid so much money to see these artists, these performers perform, and now you are shortchanged because they couldn't fully perform because of the late start to the actual event. Let us know on our TikTok account at Channel Africa 1. Comment below. And also artists, and I'm not saying it's always the case, not in this one. Artists are sometimes late. If that first performer was late, they couldn't have started without them.
Yeah.
So artists must also take accountability and show up on time for their gigs. Anyway, what caught your eye?
Listen, what caught my eye, I'm going to go back a couple of days. Okay. On the 1st of October, 1960, Nigeria became officially free from British rule. Nigeria itself was created in 1914. Okay. And why I want to go back to Independence Day of Nigeria is that there are a couple of really interesting facts around Nigeria and how it got its independence. Okay.
Do share.
Nigeria was bought. Literally bought. Okay. So I know that's a jaw dropper because I didn't know this. Until I did a bit of digging, yes. Before Nigeria became a country, it was actually bought. All right. In 1899, the British government paid the Royal Niger Company what would be an equivalent of 120 million pounds today to buy Nigeria. Not for land, but for the right to rule over people who never agreed to be there in the first place. I didn't know this, because I think we really do very little digging in terms of the nitty-gritties of how countries, sort of pull away from colonial rule and become independent. It just becomes a big celebration.
Yeah.
But the facts are really interesting. Another interesting fact is that Nigeria was created without the consent of its people. Let me elaborate. When Nigeria was created in 1914, over 250 ethnic groups and more than 400 languages were thrown into one colonial basket without being asked. Okay? And that means obviously there was no unity, there was no conversation around this. It was about making it easier for the British government to be able to profit from the country. A third interesting fact. You thought I was done. I'm not done. Independence came, but the scars of forced unification remained. Okay, so we're going to go back to the 1st of October. This was in 1960 when it officially got its independence. Nigeria officially broke free from British rule, but not from the colonial legacy. The country inherited a system designed to exploit, not unite. And that's how we're seeing the story unfold today. So just in case you're wondering why Nigeria operates the way it does today, it's because it is still not united, and it's still tied to British colonial rule. And it was bought for what would be 120 million pounds in 2025. Isn't that something? Isn't that interesting?
2 years old. It was 2 years old.
Yeah, I mean, fascinating to really find out. I mean, that timeline between 1899 and 1914, a lot of things happened. And sometimes we really think African countries are free from colonial rule. But this then questions not just Nigeria, but many other countries in the African region. That we think have independence, but do they truly? Do they truly? You do away with the French language. Have you really done the work? Is the question.
Mmatsheko, look at you throwing a whole spanner in the works here. Interesting what caught your eye. Let us know what you thought about that. Did you know that Nigeria was bought?
It was a big did you know, wasn't it?
Did you know?
Did you know?
Let us know on our WhatsApp line, +2763. Wait, just a correction of earlier. I said it's in the city, not back to the city. Oh, it's in the city.
I was actually really surprised that back to the city in Pretoria.
My bad. My bad.
Okay.
So a quick correction.
Sure.
The concert that we were talking about earlier was in the city at the Sunbet Arena in the city of Tshwane on the 5th of October, which was yesterday.
Right.
All right. So my apologies for that. I know someone was listening. I was like, back to the
city is Joburg fine.
It's in Joburg. Yes, it's in the city. That's the event where Summer Walker performed at less than half an hour set, and people went a bit crazy about it, saying it's unacceptable. But she did, come to the party and say, listen, it's not her fault. The event, started late, and she was prepared. She was ready, good to go. Unfortunately, the organizers allowed it to be late, thereby deducting her time and leaving you short change. And therefore, I asked the question, should the organizers be fined or blacklisted? It's 3 p.m. Central African Time. Let's get the latest news with Jwalani Tulongwepe.
Africa's very own think tank. This is Channel Africa Online. www.channelafrica.co.za. SABC News. The African Perspective.
Top stories: the Sabah Tanzanian opposition leader goes on trial for treason, and early results of elections in Syria suggest a lower representation of women and minorities than expected. Good afternoon. Tanzanian opposition leader Tundu Lissu has gone on trial for treason in the capital Dar es Salaam. This comes weeks before the East African country holds an election that his country has been barred from has been barred from contesting. Lissu, who came second in the last presidential poll in 2020, was arrested in April and charged with treason over what prosecutors said was a speech calling on the public to rebel and disrupt the elections later this month. He has pleaded not guilty in the treason case, and his lawyer has said the charges are politically motivated. South Africa's International Relations Department has given the assurance that a process is underway to return the South Africans who were on board the flotilla to Gaza back home. Over 100 activists from the global Sumud flotilla were deported to Turkey after being intercepted and detained at sea while trying to deliver humanitarian aid to Gaza. They include the late former President Nelson Mandela's grandson, Mandla Mandela. Crispin Piri is the department spokesperson.
Our specialist team met with the South African delegation who are currently detained in an Israeli prison facility. The delegation has confirmed that the detainees are in good health and in high spirits. The necessary procedures for their safe passage and return home to South Africa are advancing steadily.
The newly formed political party Unite for Change has called on South Africans to fund it, saying citizens should embrace a culture of political party funding. The party, which will be registered soon, is planning to contest next year's local government elections. The merger between Build One South Africa, Rise Mzansi and the Good Party was launched in Johannesburg yesterday. Musi Maimane is a member of the new party's Council of Leaders.
For this entity, I'd like to invite for citizens to get into the culture of funding political parties. There has been to answer a question, which is to say people say there are donors who are instructing this thing. That's not the case. It's not the case at all. I want to be clear. People come on board, fund it so that it can be able to be an effective. And leaving from here, we all will go and try and raise money for the entity, and that's the job that we've got to do. That's the job of leadership.
The team of 5 seasoned investigators that has been deployed to France has not yet left South Africa. Last Friday, the Police Ministry announced that the National Police Commissioner, Fani Masimola, had deployed the team to ensure that the circumstances surrounding the death of South Africa's ambassador to France, Nathi Mthethwa, were thoroughly and transparently investigated. Mthethwa was found dead in a Paris hotel's inner courtyard last Tuesday morning after falling from the 22nd floor. He was 58. The SABC's William Denselo is in Paris.
We have reportedly had the release of the death certificate, so now this autopsy release will be seen crucial not just for the investigation to go forward, but also for the crucial repatriation of the body as well, with the family certainly hoping that that can happen in an expedient manner as possible. Of course, while that is taking place, we also know that these 5 South African investigators are travelling to France and will be working in conjunction with the French authorities this week as the investigation into what exactly transpired and why it transpired a week ago continues at pace.
Early results from Syria's first parliamentary election since the overthrow of Bashar al-Assad last year suggest a lower representation of women and minorities than expected. In the capital Damascus, no women have been elected. The BBC's Lina Sanjab has the details.
For some people, it is really a good and big moment, and even for the president, who addressed the electoral colleges yesterday, said that this is a milestone for Syria after the fall of Assad, although he described it as a moderate operation, moderate process, given the current circumstances. But many others look at it and see that this is far from being democratic. This is not election. This is not ballot boxes where people are voting and selecting their own candidates, and worry that this is empowering more the President al-Shara and giving him more control over the country.
Recapping the top story this hour, Tanzanian opposition leader Tundu Lissu has gone on trial for treason in the capital Dar es Salaam. This comes weeks before the East African country holds an election that his party has been barred from contesting. For any news stories you would like to share with us, please do send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +27 11 714 4459. For Channel Africa News, I'm Jolani Tulo Wepe.
SABC News. The African Perspective.
We're 6 minutes into the final hour of the Upside. That's 6 minutes into 3 p.m. in Central African time. Just in case you are listening for the first time, welcome to the show. This is us really opening spaces so you gain access to the good life on the African continent, okay? That's what the show is all about. Tebogo Lekhuleni and Mmatsheko Mosito holding space for you until 4 p.m. in Central African time. And we have a special guest in this hour that's going to be joining us in studio. So moving from some very interesting what caught your eyes, which we're waiting to hear what yours is if you happen to catch this broadcast live. But we have in studio joining us in a moment a South African entrepreneur, musician, media personality, Galston Anthony, who is preparing to launch a Shark Tank style initiative aimed at empowering young people that are living in urban areas. But I think also what's going to be really interesting about this wonderful human being in his capacity as an entrepreneur, musician, and a media personality is that he has announced his candidacy for mayor of the city of Johannesburg here in South Africa. So I think that's quite a leap, hey? From creative business work to politics.
Politics.
To politics.
Wait, you mentioned singer. Musician.
I said the word.
I didn't know that.
I said the word.
All right. I know him doing the podcast
the
and all these musician. If that's the case, then because he's going to be joining us in studio live. If that's the case, then maybe he will drop a note or two for us in studio.
And sing his way into candidacy.
A mayor that can sing. A mayor that can sing, who's also an entrepreneur, also a podcaster. Listen, from a youth perspective, these are the things we like. But we'll be talking about the Shark Tank initiative. And yes, we'll be touching on the candidacy as well. But I'm very interested in this Shark Tank initiative. With high unemployment in South Africa, in Johannesburg, how is this particular initiative, which will be offering mentorship and some resources as well to help these young people bring their businesses to life? I want to find out more about that one because I have a particularly vested interest in it, seeing the high unemployment rate in South Africa, specifically in Johannesburg. This is the city of gold, isn't it? This is where you come to make your dreams come alive. You leave your Mpumalanga, where I'm from. You live in Mpumalanga, you live Limpopo, you live Northwest, come to Johannesburg, the city of gold, so you can live the dream. But what happens when there aren't any opportunities, or if you're consistently met with barriers to entry? I hope that this particular initiative helps the young people break those barriers. It's 10 minutes after 3 p.m. Central African time. We'll be getting into conversation with Galston Anthony right after this. He'll be joining us live on The Upside.
África. Conhece o Ntivani?
Claro que sou eu.
Ntivani é o amante da música de corpo e alma.
Eu amo música africana.
Ele aprecia todos os tipos de melodias e passa os seus dias a ouvir a Channel África. Okay. Adivinha só, a Channel África quer ajudar o Ntivani e os amantes da música em todo o lado a descobrir ainda mais música incrível. Por isso, a Channel África está a convocar artistas africanos a submeterem as suas músicas. Músicos, Lembrem-se de nos dar todas as informações relevantes no music@channelafrica.co.za. As submissões são a vossa oportunidade de ser ouvidos, mas não garantem inclusão na lista. Todas as submissões serão cuidadosamente analisadas para verificar se cumprem os requisitos da nossa estação. Canal África, a perspectiva africana.
Darubini ya Afrika na I am Henry Shakif.
Vita kule imezungumzwa pia DRC, lakini Somalia, Sudani Kusini, kumekuwa kuna vita za hapa na pale. Katika mkutano huu, unadhani hili lingekuwa ni kipaumbele?
Ni kipaumbele kikubwa kama unavyomwona waziri wa sheria wa zamani Yvonne kutoka Namibia alipozungumza, ni kwamba kwanza inasikitisha watu tunapojikuta kwamba mataifa nje ndio yanashiriki kutupatanisha. Hii inaonyesha hatuaminiani, na pia tumekubali kutumiwa kwa sababu hawa wanatupatanisha wana ajenda zao, wana kitu wananufaika.
Na kama vile wewe ambavyo umezungumza, umekuja hapa kama mwakilishi, na leo ndo mkutano huu na siku 3 na leo ndo siku ya kwanza, pengine tutegemee nini kupitia mkutano huu?
Kitu kikubwa ambacho nataka kujifunza hapa ni namna gani tutarudi nyumbani na kuweka ukaribu, ile bondi kati yetu sisi na wale wanaotuwakilisha. Kusiwe na ukuta, kusiwe na kutoaminiana, na pia wale wanapopewa madaraka wasijisi wamekuwa wakubwa zaidi, kwa sababu wale ni watumishi.
Darubini ya Afrika kila Jumatatu hadi Ijumaa kuanzia saa 11 kamili hadi saa 12 kamili jioni majira ya Afrika ya.
If it's news and current affairs, leading opinions, and thought leaders that get your groove, this is your home, The Upside.
Yeah, well. Yeah, well. Yeah, well. Yeah, well. Yeah, well. Kumba, 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 kumba. 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 Ebatina sfuna le mali, sfuna le cash, sfuna le stash. Asfuna mamita, asfuna mapita, sfuna makumba. Sonke, sfuna makumba. Yeah, well. Ebatina sfuna le mali, sfuna le cash, sfuna le stash. Asfuna mamita, asfuna mapita, sfuna makumba. Sonke, sfuna makumba. Yeah, well. Kumba, 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 kumba. Yeah, well. Kumba, kumba, kumba. Yeah, well. Kumba, 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 kumba, kumba. Yeah, well. Kumba, 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 kumba. Yeah, well. Sfuna le mali, sfuna le cash, sfuna le stash. Asfuna mamita, asfuna mapita, sfuna makumba. Sonke, sfuna makumba. Yeah, well. Ebatitina, sfuna le mali, sfuna le cash, sfuna le stash. Asfuna mamita, asfuna
It is 15 minutes after 3 p.m. Central African Time, a song that has gone viral on social media. Magumba, even as its own dance challenge, dance move. The Magumba Dance Challenge. Kadier featuring PK, Mz, and who else is there? Kayla is on that track. Magumba. Oh, what a time to be alive. We've got an amazing guest in studio with us right now. His name is Gelston Anthony. And I tell you what, I'm going to, address the elephant in the room immediately, Mr. Anthony. Your eyes. And I'm sure you get this everywhere.
Every day, everywhere. But I got to take you a couple steps back because you got to say my full name. The full name. I've got a whole Isitakazelo as well.
Gelston Anthony, the best to ever do it.
Yep, that's him.
That's
him.
There it is. All right, now explain the eyes.
You guys might be the first ones for me to explain it this way. I was born with brown eyes, and what happened is that my dad, I got two sides of the family, black and what they call colored. Now, on the black side, my parents, my dad's eyes started turning blue, but a different type of blue to what people are used to when old people turn blue.
Yeah.
But then Tilvy's brothers, one is late. They were born with blue eyes. So I started getting crazy eyes, which is a very, very, very rare phenomena. So one eye started going crazy. So I just went up to a doctor, ophthalmologist, and they sent me to a different country. And they said, you know what, let's just get your eyes to be even until you get to a certain age, and we'll keep making sure that they look one color. And blue was that color.
Oh, it was just to confirm that those are not contacts that you have on there. So from the stage to the boardroom and now into, I wouldn't say politics, but the candidacy for the Joburg mayor is up for grabs. And this man is going to compete for that very position. South African entrepreneur, media personality, podcaster, Gelston Anthony, the best to
ever do it. Yeah,
the best to ever do it, is stepping into a new chapter. He's preparing to launch a Shark Tank style initiative aimed at giving young urban entrepreneurs capital, mentorship, and the chance to break through barriers. At the same time, he's announced his candidacy for mayor of Johannesburg, with a campaign rooted not in party politics, but in practical solutions for job creation, accountability, and community empowerment. Before we get into the Joburg mayoral candidacy,
let's start light.
Start light. When did you come to South Africa? I think that's where we can start.
That's the question. So I've been here for more than 30 years. I'm turning 40 in a couple weeks. The big 40. Big 40.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So I intend to travel the world. I don't really celebrate birthdays, but I've had this idea. If y'all know Hangover, I want to do Hangover. Not remember what happened, but I've got videos. I got videos of what happened, in a couple of different countries. But I've been here for most of my life, and this is the interesting part: is that I was born in South Africa, and then I left very, very, very early. Went to the United States. Went to Mozambique as well for 1 year, in the United States for a lot more years, and then came back and spent all that time here. So how it ended up that I still sound like this is a mystery to me. I guess I didn't integrate with society that much.
You didn't go to Guamaimai there to eat the bride meat.
What's Guamaimai?
Guamaimai is a taxi rank. It's a Shisanyama spot.
Okay.
Right, close to by a taxi rank in Johannesburg. Right, and that's where we come together. We eat bride meat and have conversations.
Okay, so the last time I was at the taxi rank. Oof.
Oh, was it a problem? What happened?
Oh no, there was not like there was any problems. But the last time I was there was probably 2 decades ago. So probably a lot of things has changed since. Yeah.
That's a lifetime ago.
Yeah, back in the days when you want to go see your girlfriend and she lives in the township somewhere and the only way to get there is to use a taxi. Yep.
And you found the girl. You found the girl many years later. Gelston Anthony, the best to ever do it, joining us in studio in his capacity as an entrepreneur, a podcaster, musician, media personality. But what's really interesting is all those titles are not each sold separately. All right. He's going to talk to us about how they all come together because he's, of course, launching a very important Shark Tank style, as it's been described, initiative that really is about youth empowerment. Okay, particularly in urban areas where it is needed the most. We're back after this.
Property is more than bricks and mortar. It's your pathway to security, growth, and freedom. Let Century 21 property professionals help you make smart moves in today's market. Our award-winning real estate agents combine world-class marketing with local expertise, helping you sell faster, buy smarter, and grow your investments. Visit century21.co.za and let's open the door to your next chapter.
This is The Upside for the best African vibes, groundbreaking content.
21 minutes after 3 p.m. Central African Time. We're currently in conversation, joined live in studio by Mr. Gelston Anthony, the best to ever do it.
You say that. Do you know how Zulu people get happy when you put the Isitakazela?
Yeah.
So you're saying my Isitakazela.
Yeah, that is so good. Okay, let's talk about, because I mentioned that I feel like everything that you're doing is really integrated, and it speaks to all your passions, and you've found a way to kind of bring it all to life as an entrepreneur, podcaster, your interest in travel, your interest in empowering people. I mean, I would assume that's based on what you're seeing on a daily basis. So, where did it all start? Did you start off with an entrepreneurial fire in you where you wanted to start a business and make a difference in that manner? Or did the music come first where you got the awakening, if I could use that term, to want to make a difference? So which came first, and how did you then formulate this wonderful sort of model that you live by?
Well, I could tell you it started in high school. So here's the interesting story. My dad, I grew up in a wealthy family, so I've been lucky from day one. But the problem with being my dad's child is that he didn't give me what wealthy kids get. I wasn't spoiled like, you didn't get everything. He just made things really tough for me. So when everybody had lunch money, the 5 rands at school, I would get nothing. I'd get a lunchbox, and I'd get laughed at and be like, you the rich one. We the ones got money. You don't. And that bothered me.
Wow.
And then every time I'd ask my parents for it, they didn't take the reasoning that I just need to get money, I need to work for it. So they started making me wash their cars. Now, the nice thing about my dad is that he paid me well if I wash a car. I got paid $30 back in 2001 for a car. That's under the condition that it's clean.
Yeah.
So he was strict about it, right? And back then SUVs were not a big thing, but he had SUVs. So I had to sit there and scrub them out and try to watch. Is it clean? No. Scrub them out, and then I'll get my 30 depending on how many cars I could wash. Back then I couldn't wash 5-6 cars in one day. I started off with one the whole day. Then when it was Monday, I'm balling out of control. And then what would happen is that there things like Jordans would come in and everything, and the time I was living in, Jordans weren't there, especially 2001. And the only time I would see Jordans is if we flew to the United States and my dad got a pair of sneakers and he got me the cheap ones and he got himself the Jordans, right? And he didn't care if it was Jordans or not. He was just wearing a pair of sneakers.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I need to get me some Jordans. So I had to start washing my car, his car, my neighbor's car, went around the block, started washing people's cars, started making money, paid up $1,700 for a pair of Jordans. Now, Jordans were expensive back then, much more expensive than they were now. And then I had a friend, an Indian friend, who had DVDs. I think they were bootleg looking back. And he asked me to sell them, right? And I started selling DVDs and all. So it was all started in the family and friends that were neighbors and all. And I just found entrepreneurship from there. Because my dad would not hand me over money. I wish he did, But that's how it started. You would have been spoiled
if that was the case.
Yeah, he should have just done it. I would have been a happier kid.
Talk to us about, because we are pressed for time and want to get as much as we can out of you. Talk to us about this Shark Tank initiative. It sounds a fascinating one. Walk us through it and how you're going to roll it out.
Well, my Shark Tank initiative is attached to being the mayor contender, which we could talk about a bit later. But let me tell you about the Shark Tank initiative. So In my campaigning, I'm looking at South Africa. Now, given that I'm from a business family, generations on generations, there's some things that don't make sense to me. Now, look, I know how the economy is getting bankrupt. Sometimes you just don't want to say it because you're going to piss off, excuse that language, you're going to make the wrong people mad. So I don't want to find myself in that position. I just want to get things to work. So I'm like, you know what? The backbones of the economies is two people, middle class and entrepreneurs. Now, because I belong to the entrepreneur class, I'm like, they speak to me. So I said to myself, you know what? To show you that people can actually get to a place where the economy grows, what I'll do is just call 3 of my rich friends every 2 months. We say, look, we want to invest into the townships. People are going to come there, do their pitch. We're going to have 100 people. They're going to be surfed down to 10. Only listen to 10 that were chosen, and they have their pitch, and right there and then invest in them. And then the idea is to have 10% of their business also, depending on how much we invest. There will be a cap on the amount, right? It's more a small business thing. And then mentor them for the next 6 months, and then let them be. So it's making sure that the amount that is paid to them, it actually gets to work and actually works. And saying this is what a mayor does, you know, it's somebody who makes sure that the city grows. And so we're just setting up the date. It's going to be late November. Dates to be announced, but it's definitely in the last week of November from the 20th onwards.
Okay. We're going to unpack a little later because we want to keep you so you can talk to us about how that ties to your candidacy that's coming up in the year 2026. But I'm very interested in the G2G podcast and what that's about and what the big idea is. What is the big idea behind you podcasting? Because, you know, I mean, there's a myriad of them out there.
So I was where you were at about 2 decades ago. But it was mostly internet radio. And what happened is that when I started in the industry, I wanted to be, you know, front and center. I wanted to be on radio. I was a rapper, you know, a decent one at that. But I just never got to that place where I could blow. I actually came to the SABC a couple of times when TiVo Touch was still pretty new. And, you know, I had my a radio interview with him. This was back in 2005. But I just couldn't seem to get to a place where, you know, I became the next big thing. But then what started to happen is that all artists started using me. This is back when Late Jabba was still there. You know, you name them all. Even people that are still doing great now, like Casper, I've worked with him once or twice. And I just was always put in the back, and I accepted that positioning. I took some artists and made them mega stars, you know, around Africa. And I was like, it's been 2 decades in the game, and nobody knows I exist. But I made my fair share of change in the background, good and well. But it's time that I tell the story. So I decided do podcasting. And when I did, I just called anybody that I knew on the phone, whether it was a politician, whether it was famous, and they had enough respect for me to just pitch up to the venue as they should, and did it. And because I traveled all around the continent, I make some calls to those places. Hey, President so-and-so, I'm coming to see you. No problem, come in through. And we have that conversation. So they get it. The hard talk, because they're already familiar to my style. They know it's not going to be an easy one. Hey, so how you been? Nope, it's going to be hard. So they've accepted me there. And 2025 January 8th is when I started. So I'm 10 months in. And yeah, it's been blown up since.
You've reached quite a milestone. You were hoping for 12,000 subscribers.
Yeah. How do you stalk me like that? How do you know?
You were hoping for 12,000 subscribers in 12 months, and you managed to do that in about 9 months.
Yes, I did that in 9 months.
How amazing is that?
It's a beautiful feeling, because when you get into this kind of space, the first thing people do is not care. So the factor that they actually took some note tells me a long story, actually. It tells me to myself that, okay, I've used my experience well. Some people think I'm a plant, and I'm like, yes, it's true. I planted myself, so I'm very good. I'm good at these type of stuff. But it also tells me that they're interested in what I want to say. And this 12,000, although it's not concentrated in one country, South Africa, it's in different countries. So different countries, through my demographics, it's, let's say, evenly spread. So I'm pretty happy of, you know, where it's going. Algorithms are hard to manage. You know, one day you're popular in South Africa, one day you're popular in Kenya, Uganda, you name it. So yeah, it's a good feeling. It's a good feeling.
All right. Love it.
Lots of composure you have, sir. under the circumstances of the work that you are doing,
Yeah.
which is really intense. I mean, I would imagine this Shark Tank really has a challenge because you really want to make a difference and help young people with some really complex challenges. We're going to talk more about that, and we also are going to be talking to our guest. Listen, I got to say this right, otherwise I'm going to lose my brownie points. Galston Anthony, the best to ever do it. Yes, Ali Lili in the background. It is 30 minutes past 3 p.m. We're going to check in with Fix Lingwati, who's got the latest in sports.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
We kick off with football news. Amajita traveled to Tulca to face Colombia in the round of 16 on Wednesday at the Estadio Fiscal. Siwelele FC striker Thabang Mahlangu was Amajita's top goal scorer at the Africa Cup of Nations tournament earlier this year and scored the winning goal against the Democratic Republic of Congo. The DRC that took them to Chile says they continue to believe after losing the opening game against France, but after they beat the United States of America.
The game was a bit difficult, especially in the first half, but the gents pushed, having Magidi Gidi there, he did well, and having Talon Smith, I like all the gents, I can't mention like one by one, but they did well. But the game was difficult, to be honest, because the qualities of USA, they have like good qualities, and we managed to like close them down because we studied very, very well, and I think we deserve the win.
And the rock-solid talented left-back Tato Sibia says their performance is opening doors for the next generation.
It was a tough game for us. It was a tough game for us, not individually, but like as a team, we had to suffer in some moments. So we knew we were gonna suffer, but we pulled through. It was an important win. We always come into games wanting to win. So us winning was just not a bonus, but like something we set as a goal to win the game. So for us, it's a big win.
And in Saba, winger Joy of Rwanda, Lance Michaels, will miss Rwanda's upcoming World Cup 2026 qualifying matches against Benin and South Africa after sustaining a serious back injury late in the club's 2-0 away win against Karvan Yavlak in the Azerbaijan Premier League on Sunday. A 31-year-old who had opened the scoring from the sport suffered an injury on his back after colliding with Karvan's Yezlak goalkeeper in the 90th plus 11th minute of the stoppage time and was unable to get back to his feet. He initially received medical treatment on the pitch and was later taken to a local clinic by club ambulance. It is a big blow for Adel Amrouchi's side, who was hoping to count him as Rwanda pushes for a historic World Cup qualification. Rugby news, Rassi Rasmus has labelled his centre Kenan Moody's lucky following his knock-on in the first half of South Africa's 29-27 victory over Argentina at Twickenham's Allianz Stadium at the weekend. After the match, where the Springboks retained the Rugby Championship on points difference, Erasmus considered that if he were his counterpart, Felipe Contempomi, he would have deemed the knock-on worthy of another yellow, something that many online did. Erasmus says you'd rather learn while you're winning than while you're losing.
Argentina came out really playing well and loosening the game up, and we missed a few tackles and so on. We got a yellow card, obviously. The one, Cannon was lucky that the one that he tapped back, there was almost 2 yellow cards there. Could have, if I were Filippo, I would say, wasn't that maybe a red card? They wanted 1 or 2 each of them that I thought, that might have been more than a yellow. So overall, obviously, I'm not blaming the referee. I'm just saying there was close calls that could have changed the game even more. But we always knew Argentina, they've got massive fight in them. They take you to the gutters, and we had to swim there in the gutters with them.
Finally, golf news. Robert McIntyre won the Alfred Dunhill Links Championship on Sunday for a second DP World Tour victory in as many years in his native Scotland. McIntyre completed a successful homecoming after being part of the Europe's victory over the United States in the Ryder Cup a week earlier at Bethpage Black in New York. The third round was postponed on Saturday because of stormy weather, making the event a pro-am played across 3 of Scotland's top links courses, 18 holes shorter than intended. Tyrrell Hatton, the tournament's 2024 winner and another member of Team Europe, shot at St Andrews and jumped into second place, 1 stroke better than fellow English player John Perry and South Africa's Richard Steny as they shared third. For any sports stories you'd like to share with us, please send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +2711 714 4459. This is Channel Africa Sport with me, Fikile Lungwati.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African Perspective.
Je, una jambo lolote akilini mwako? Je, una shauku kuhusu masuala muhimu? Na je, una maoni ambayo unataka yasikike? Kweli, hili jukwaa ni la kwako. Piga simu au tuandikie kwenda WhatsApp namba alama ya kujumulisha 2760552594 na tutakupigia simu.
Mtangazaji wa habari zetu za Afrika Kusini mjini Johannesburg.
Hivyo unaweza kuwa mshirika kwenye matangazo yetu. Sio mazungumzo tu, ni fursa yako ya kuchangia maoni yako na kushirikiana na jumuiya ya wasikilizaji wanaotamani mtazamo wako. Tufuate kwenye mitandao ya kijamii. Tembelea tovuti yetu www.channelafrica.co.za na uwe tayari kushiriki na kuchangia maoni yako kwenye Channel Africa. Channel Africa, mtazamo wa Kiafrika.
We take no sides, none whatsoever. We are the upside.
Well, it's 36 minutes after 3 p.m. Central African time. Let's find out how the markets are moving. Nosipho Zuma is standing by.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African Perspective.
Thank you, Tebogo. Good afternoon. In your business news this hour, the African National Congress Party in South Africa has identified a 10-point plan to increase growth, create jobs and poverty. Now, this came out at the end of its 3-day special NEC meeting in Boksburg, east of Johannesburg, earlier today. Despite remaining far below the level needed to reduce high levels of poverty and inequality, the country's growth rate improved in the second quarter of 2025, reaching its fastest in 2 years. But ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa says there is a lot that still needs to be done. He unveiled his parts intervention to reignite growth in the economy.
The first intervention is to use electricity tariffs and investment in transmission to drive economic activity. This means preferential electricity tariffs for ferrochrome and manganese as well as steel. The second intervention is to accelerate the recovery of our freight and logistics sector. The third intervention is to rebuild our chrome and manganese industries. The NEC resolved that the fourth intervention must be to improve the capacity of the state to manage major projects.
The African National Congress has vowed to rebuild and restore South Africa's state-owned enterprises to their glory days of developmental instruments. The 3-day meeting was called to discuss, among others, how to reignite growth in the economy and the guidelines of candidates for the 2026 local elections. ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa explains.
We need to rebuild and reform state-owned enterprises to be effective developmental instruments. We are already seeing quite a lot of progress in a number of our state-owned enterprises as they are regaining their own capability and also attracting experienced and well-qualified people to come and work in there. The efficient and well-governed state-owned enterprises are vital to economic growth and also vital to our national competitiveness.
An entrepreneur from South Africa's Limpopo province has opened an avocado oil-producing factory at Doveni outside Thohoyandou. The facility has the capacity to process 100 tons of avocados daily. It is expected to create over 100 jobs for the local community and benefit farmers by providing a market for their produce. Ecovado's product line includes avocado seed powder. Its CEO is Hulisani Madao.
I've decided to set up the factory to benefit especially the local community because I've seen there's an abundance of avocados. We can't finish the avocados that are available. It always goes to waste. So I thought, you know what, let me set up a facility. This facility manages to process around 100 tons of avocados a day, which is a lot. For me, it's going to benefit the community because we are going to create more than 100 jobs for local community. I mean, it's going to benefit the farmers. And this, for me, it's a dream come true because I always wanted to do something like this.
Shares of critical metals have surged over 75% in pre-market trading today. The surge comes after Reuters reported the Trump administration is discussing taking an equity stake in the development stage mining company. If completed, the deal would give the U.S. government a direct interest in Greenland's largest rare earths project. Earlier this year, President Donald Trump had invoked emergency powers to boost domestic production of critical minerals as part of a broad effort to offset China's near total control of the sector. And finally, oil prices have risen more than 1% today after OPEC Plus planned production increase for November was more modest than expected. Brent crude futures climbed nearly $1 to $65.52 a barrel, while U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude was at $61.83, up 95 U.S. cents. Your financial indicators: one US dollar in Nigeria is trading at 1,000 naira for 170. In Botswana, it's 13 pula 20. Kenya, the dollar is trading at 128 shilling 49. And in Zambia, it's 23 kwanta 78. The BRICS countries: $1 in Brazil is trading at 5 real 33. Russia is 81 rubles 93. India is 88 rupees 72. China at 7 yuan 13. And in South Africa, $1 is trading at 17 rand 21. $1 is trading at 74 pence to the British pound and 85 to the euro. Looking at commodities, gold is trading at $3,942 and platinum at $1,611 per ounce. The price of Brent crude oil is at $65.59 a barrel. Now, for any business news stories you would like to share with us, please send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +27 11 714 4459. For Channel Africa Business, I'm Mmatsheko Mosito.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African perspective. The Upside, taking the African perspective to fresh levels.
42 minutes after 3 p.m. Central African time, we are still hanging out with the man of the moment, Gelston Anthony, the best to ever do it. He's on the Upside this afternoon to talk to us about quite a few things that he's running at the moment. He's going to bring in a Shark Tank-like initiative. He says launching end of November.
End of November.
Ideally, those are the dates you're looking at, end of November. And we're talking about his podcast as well, and of course him running for mayor of Johannesburg. Just to stick to that Shark Tank idea, walk us through what the entrepreneurs are going to get. You had mentioned that a bit of mentorship and funding. Is there a cap to how much funding you'll be giving, or is it dependent on the story, the business, the idea, whatever the case may be?
So there's a cap, but I didn't want to speak about it too early. But hey, let me just say, I tend to like to be the more transparent one. It's a very small amount, right? So 3 of my friends will pop up, whichever one I choose on the final hour.
Okay.
They're going to come in with 25 large each.
Okay.
And they're going to be like, okay, so what is your business? Why? How? What you think is the turnover? They throw in the maximum of 15,000. Some people just want 10. Some people want 5. People want different, but 25 is the most there.
Okay.
And then boom, that 25 rents you mentorship for 6 months.
Okay. Got that.
And you don't have to ever pay it back.
Even better.
And you don't have to pay
Even
it back.
better for a small
You just
business.
got to show that you're making profit.
I like how you kind of use how you because I mean you told us quite a bit about how you were raised and your dad, and there's a lot of that fire in you, and how you run your initiatives and how you run your podcast, and of course that's going to spill over into the work that you're going to be doing at government level. So let's talk about how it all comes together. The conversations that you have with, I mean, I saw you had a conversation with Uganda's Bobby Wine, and it is at a very critical time.
It hasn't come out yet. It's actually coming out tomorrow, the 7th.
Yes,
Yeah.
It's still to come.
Mm-hmm.
There are teasers on your Instagram page. But, speaking to people like that who are hungry to see change, and other wonderful entrepreneurs from Kenya and in other places that you've been, how have those conversations and those sittings kind of shaped how you see the Shark Tank and the potentiality of young people, and perhaps how it's shaping your leadership and chiseling that into the future?
I want to respond in this way where you see a two-sided mirror, right? It made me see South Africa. Guys, you're not having it that bad. I know it's terrible because I live there, but you're not having it bad. But in the same breath, I don't want to underplay, because like you telling me I'm not having it that bad. I'm not eating. I'm not being able to sleep. I ain't able to walk. You telling me it's not that bad? Do you see? There's that two sides. Traveling in Africa, for example, let's give Uganda. I mean, I'm in a situation where I'm going down to Bobby Wine, and his oppositions or the people in power could just pull up there with military any given day, any given time, and then I could be in the crossfire. At that time, I do have protection that actually comes from South Africa, from a political party, not to mention which one. And at what point would I give them a call? Say, hey man, do you want to talk? Do you want to talk to them? Tell them to please just stay. I'm just here to ask questions. I'm just acting journalist here. Hostility like that does happen. Listening to Bobby Wine's story, people get tortured and all. And I say to myself, South Africa does have it bad, but definitely not that bad. They don't have to go through that intensity of those places. So that made me see South Africa as a place, as a dream place. Now, given that I've seen the United States, I've seen South Africa, I've seen Europe, I've seen good parts of the world and bad part of the world, it made me see South Africa as, wow, it's a great place. And it's quite fertile, although the fertility is dying, but it's still very fertile for business. And that's why I explored even more and more and more.
How are we going to fix that fertility that's dying? We've got to fix that quick.
Young people, man. The thing young people have while they're being young is fire. As they get older, it dies. Just fuel that fire. Just keep fueling it. Just make them believe. One of the few things we black people have, and I say we, but I'm actually excluded in this conversation, is self-esteem. We lack self-esteem. Now, it was inculcated in me quite young. Who you are, what you should do, why you should do it. If you don't do it and life beats you, get up. We're not going to sit here and baby you. Get up, get up, get up, get up. Now, people are already beaten at a young age, and no one's there to get them up and show them the ropes. Now, that fire dies as you go. By the time he turns 25, he sees no hope. Now, in me, I see hope every single day. I'm turning 40, and I still see hope. I still see 20 years from now. I still see 30, 40, 50 years more. You just fuel that fire. Give them ideas. I didn't think of the Shark Tank entrepreneurship until I started, being a contender for mayor. So I'm like, this is how I could help them. This is direct. I don't have to go through a government procedure where I have to fill in forms, I just make a call and say, guys, let's do it. Do you get it? So to burn that fire within them so that it's not patent to me. What happens now is that people from that township can come back later and say, you know what? This is our township. This is our block. We're going to invest in people every 2, 3, 4 months from here on out.
I love that. Giving back the power to the people. We're currently in conversation with Galston Anthony, the best to ever do it.
The best to ever do it.
And we'll continue. Apologies, we're playing footsie down there. We're going to continue our conversation. And this time, we're going to touch on your candidacy for the Joburg mayor, right? And we want to know why. Why now? What inspired it? And what your hopes are for the city of Johannesburg. We'll have that conversation with Galston Anthony, the best to ever do it. Right after this, it's 11 minutes to 4 p.m. Central African time.
Darubini ya Afrika na I am Henry Shakif.
Vita kule imezungumzwa pia DRC, lakini Somalia, Sudani Kusini, kumekuwa kuna vita za hapa na pale. Katika mkutano huu, unadhani hili lingekuwa ni kipaumbele?
Ni kipaumbele kikubwa kama unavyomwona waziri wa sheria wa zamani Yvonne kutoka Namibia alivyozungumza, ni kwamba kwanza inasikitisha watu tunapojikuta kwamba mataifa nje ndio yanashiriki kutupatanisha. Hii inaonyesha hatuaminiani, na pia tumekubali kutumiwa kwa sababu hawa wanatupatanisha wana ajenda zao, wana kitu wananufaika.
Na kama vile wewe ambavyo umezungumza, umekuja hapa kama mwakilishi, na leo ndo mkutano huu na siku 3, na leo ndo siku ya kwanza, pengine tutegemee nini kupitia mkutano huu?
Kitu kikubwa ambacho nataka kujifunza hapa ni namna gani tutarudi nyumbani na kuweka ukaribu, ile bondi kati yetu sisi na wale wanaotuwakilisha. Kusiwa na kutoaminiana, na pia wale wanapopewa madaraka wasijisi wamekuwa wakubwa zaidi, kwa sababu wale ni watumishi.
Darubini ya Afrika kila Jumatatu hadi Ijumaa kuanzia saa 11 kamili hadi saa 12 kamili jioni majira ya Afrika ya Kati.
We take no sides, none whatsoever. We are the upside.
10 minutes before 4 p.m. Central African Time, we're still hanging out with the man of the moment, Gelston Anthony, the best to ever do it. Listen, he's a South African entrepreneur, media personality, broadcaster, and now he will be running for the mayor of Johannesburg. Why now?
That's a really good question, because I'm supposed to do it a long time ago. But I realized that I'm doing it because I need to, and not so much want to, because I'm too much of a serial entrepreneur. I'm too much of an entrepreneur to be locked down in an office. But I'm like, you know what? Maybe it's time. Maybe it's time. Maybe I can make a difference. No, let me rephrase that. I can make a difference. That is not a maybe. It's just I need to fight my way in, So I guess it was a call. I don't want to call this a calling. It was something people were speaking in my ear for over a decade. They actually wanted me to run for presidency. I'm like, me and presidency. You don't want me to be a president of any country, right? Because I could be a little iron-fisted. And it's politically based, but being a mayor isn't. It's got a touch of politics, but it's mostly a CEO. You understand? So that's what I've been good at. That's what I've been carved to do. I've ran several types of businesses. I've bought several businesses, sold different businesses, helped people build their businesses, helped people build brands. So, hey, the next set is being an entrepreneur of the city of Johannesburg.
Why go at it by yourself, though? Instead, because someone else would have gone through a political party, and that political party would have recommended and say, okay, this is the person we are putting forward to be the mayor of Johannesburg. Why not through a political party and by yourself?
Well, you're hearing this for the first time. A political party did approach me, right? But I will say it wasn't the top of the political party. It was the one right below it. And all these people were lobbying for me. They said, look, we'd like to interest you for, mayor of the city of Johannesburg. And I'm like, huh? Why? And they said, because the way we see it, according to the demographics, you might be the only one that can actually, get all the votes between white, black, young, old, and all that. I looked at them like, I didn't even see it that way. All right, sounds like an idea. They're like, oh, great, glad we're winning it, because everybody's lobbying for you here. Now to tell the political leader of the party. And it needed to get to him. So when it got to him, or just below him, they said, look, we've got a guy that we want there. And then the younger one says, no, but we want this dude. And then I said, you know what, guys? I don't really align with your party. I was just glad to know that y'all say these things, right? Then I called another political party leader. I said, can I come see you? Right? And went to his office. We live very, very close to each other in Sandton. Went to him, had a chat with him, and said, this was what was brought to me on the table. Would it be something that you would look at as well? Because I align more than with you. He said, write me out a draft of, what it is you want to do. I said, sure. I've never written anybody a draft ever. I don't like writing anything. You look at me, we have this conversation. But he's like, my peoples don't know you, right? My people's inside the political party. And I sent it to him. He took 2 weeks to respond, and I just started. I'm like, look, man, you will respond when you do, but I'm going to run with it. And basically he said, you know what, you're better off running on your own, because it's hard to get the people inside to support you. But I actually know where you come from, because I actually started the way you did. so I can relate with you. And then I was like, I'm already on my run. Let me just continue. And I learned it the hard way. It's a very expensive exercise. You could buy houses on houses on houses. This is like burning money. But then I'm like, okay, if I'm going to make these losses, it's okay as long as I see people have benefited.
Oh, that's so
As
noble.
long as I could see that, you see that person, I ran and that person is winning, that person's winning, then I'm good.
Okay, very quickly, let's talk about your vision, because I want to highlight the fact that you've mentioned that your campaign is not about party politics. It's not political at all, you know. So let's talk about your vision, you know, incorporating and your experience as an entrepreneur, as a serial entrepreneur, the things that you're seeing on the ground. How is that going to provide solution? And I ask that deliberately because there are many hurdles, sir, that you're going to have to move through, should you get this position, and one of them is corruption, which is a very big hurdle. So to get through that hurdle and help the young person to create a life for themselves and be and reproduce themselves economically, how are you going to do that?
Well, I started doing videos, and I'm doing it on a weekly basis where I speak about my manifesto and my policies, right? I also sit as head of policy for SAYBC, which is South African Youth Business Chambers. Okay. So I do the research and policy of it. Corruption right now where it is at the country is actually, South African people, you'll have to forgive me for this, but it is true. It's embedded within our DNA now. Corruption is there. Now, to fight corruption, you don't just go there, okay, stop corruption, that is that. That is just something that all the political parties are saying they're going to do, but they partake in it in one way or the other. So in my instant, it's like, look here, I will fade corruption out, right? Would have to change, because the way corruption came in, it didn't come as in a storm. It came in gradually. That the way the South African people itself, forget government, operate under that. We could see this in almost everything of our lives. I don't want to mention where, because I don't want to discredit all these entities, so to put it. So it's more like, look, guys, can we stop and lower the corruption? Because what's happening is that this goes long enough, the collapse will be too far to come up. There's been countries that's been collapsing so far. It's like, I see you, and you could be put to jail, but all the people that are going to be put to jail at that given point are the best people to do the jobs. So let's say, look, guys, have the people get the jobs done first, and then you can, do your thing if you have to. But just don't let me catch you, because if I do, red-handed, it's jail time for you. But I know how it works, because we all see it, and we all see what's happening. So it's kind of like phasing corruption out, right? Number two is taking those same people and pay reparations, right? It's like, you've been corrupt for a very, very long time. How about you do some reparations? How many? Which township you come from? Soweto, Deep Sloot, Orange Farm? Come on, man. Look around. Empower that person. Empower that person. Because this person is 21 and he's got no place to go, no school to go to. Why don't you give him a call? Why don't you call him, gather a couple of people, says, look, I'll pay for your school. We're just going to be quiet about it. Pay for your school, go through. That is reparations. Why don't you guys do that? And these people, you could just walk up to them and say that. You could just do it.
Well, I think that's the advantage of you having access to these people, and they listen to you. Let's talk about how we can follow the podcast, because I think that's a fascinating insight into who you are, because if we're going to buy into your candidacy for the year 2026, we need to know who you are. Right. So where can we find that? Because I think that that will give us great insight.
YouTube right now, completely independent. So I'm not on the other platforms like Spotify and Apple. So I'm only on YouTube. So it's G2G Podcast worldwide, or G2G Podcast by Galson Anthony. Just put the name Galson Anthony. It happens that I'm the only one with that name order around the world so far.
The best to ever do it.
You know what? How could I do myself misjustice, right? So yeah, you find me on those platforms. You get to know, you get to see how I think, you get to see who I speak to. You see I speak to billionaires, whether I'm speaking to a billionaire, millionaire, celebrity, politician, president. They get the same smoke.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Galston Anthony, the best to ever do it. All the best. All the
Thank
best
you so much.
with your candidacy. And we're very excited for this Shark Tank initiative. We can't wait to see it come to life, and the impact that that's going to have on the youth in South Africa. So all the best, and thank you so much for gracing us with your presence this afternoon on The Upside.
I think I should thank you for giving me the call. I'm the lucky one here.
Thank you very much. And all the best. All
Thank
the
you
best
so
with the
much.
Shark Initiative and the candidacy.
Can I just say one thing? Because I know we got a minute left.
Yeah.
It's contender. The candidacy.
Contender.
Contender.
Thank you.
I'm not a
For
candidate
2026.
yet.
Contender.
The candidacy means that I'm on the ballot.
That you're already there.
There's our correction there. Yeah. Contender.
Contender.
All the best. All
Thank
the best
you so
with
much.
Let's take a quick breather, and then when we come back, we hand over to the Queen of Africa in business. That's Tebogo Lekhuleni. So very quickly.
Mmatsheko Mosito and Tebogo Lekhuleni on the upside. Channel Africa, your voice, your sound, and your home. Stay logged right here. The upside, taking the African perspective to fresh levels.
Africa in business coming up next. Tebogo Lekhuleni, what's coming up next? What's coming up on the show?
We have a whole lot coming up. The Uganda National Teachers Union strike in its fourth week, despite the government calling for it to end in an ultimatum. Also, it's all systems go for the 24th COMESA Summit of Heads of State and Government. It begins today at the Kenyatta International Convention Center in Nairobi, Kenya. And also a look at about 30 agro-processing companies that have been taken to Cologne in Germany for a summit in order to try and attract the interest of international food importers. That's just a top-level menu of what we've got in store for you today.
Love it. I know these are topics that Mmatsheko loves. It's 4 p.m. Central African time. African Business coming up next with Tebogo Lekhuleni from us, the Upsiders. Let's do this again tomorrow. Same time, same place. Goodbye.
It is a very good Monday afternoon to you, Kenya. Good afternoon, Ghana, Eritrea, Senegal, Ethiopia. Good afternoon to you.